Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Thursday, August 8th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Detroit Tigers versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and I'll get into the starting lineups. Happy Thursday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, we have third baseman tonight, Matt Bierling. And on the right, our ace, Brian Wu. Now let's get into the starting lineup for the visiting Detroit Tigers. Leading off for the Tigers at DH, Wenzel Perez. Batting second, playing second base, Cole Keith. Batting third, playing third base this afternoon, typically in left field, Matt Bierling. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, playing first base, Fly Madris. Batting fifth, playing left field, Justin Henry Malloy. Batting sixth, my favorite Tiger at this point, center fielder Parker Meadows. And I know you robbed Cal Raleigh of his second home run last night, so don't get any ideas today, but I do see you, Parker Meadows. You have a bright future. Batting seventh, catching tonight for Detroit, Dylan Dingler. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, Zach McKinstry. And a late scratch for Javi Baez. They decide to bring in the 9-hole, right fielder Ryan Vilade. And on the mound for the Tigers, 0-0 record, ERA of 4.50. Brennan Hanafy. Tried to find another photo of him in a Tiger uniform, but all the ones that I found weren't good. So this is the best one. It's a good close-up of him. All right, Brennan, we'll see what you got here this afternoon. Now let's get into the starting lineups for your Seattle Mariners. And we need this win desperately. You know, we don't get swept that often. You know, we were hoping not to get swept all year. I believe we've only been swept once all year, but we're on the brink of it happening again. And if you've been watching the series, game one, we lost 4-2. Game two, a Skubal on the mound, best pitcher in baseball, besides Chris Sale and Paul Skeens. Yesterday, we lost 6-2. We have to find a way to get a dub here and get 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and maybe we can win 4-2 or 6-2 today. And it all starts with Brian Wu. Leading off for the Mariners in center field until Julio comes back, Victor Robles. And if you notice in a lot of the games that the Mariners get off to a fast start, it's because of Robles and typically getting a hit at his first at-bat, swinging at those first 2 pitches that typically end up being strikes. So hopefully Robles can take advantage. He can get a single or double to get it started, and that'll start the Uncle Mo and the momentum that we need. Batting second, playing first base, Luke Raley. And we need Luke to nuke him because, you know, he hasn't really been the player that we thought he was going to be maybe earlier on in the season, like with Hollywood Josh Rojas. We need a big game today from Luke Raley. 1 out of 4 or 2 for 4 day. Let's go, Luke. Batting third, playing left fielder, Randy Rosarina. Kind of bad luck for Randy in the last couple games, hitting into some double plays, broken bats. But hopefully today will be a little bit better for Randy. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, the MVP of the Mariners, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Trident's up. He went yard yesterday from the right side and barely missed a homer, getting robbed by Parker Meadows, jumping up about 4 feet above the wall to rob him. Would have been one from the right and one from the left, and he's done it multiple times. Can we get a Cal Raleigh home run today? I hope so. Let's go, big dumper. Batting fifth, DHing for Seattle, Justin Turner. Let's go, JT. Batting sixth, playing second base, Jorge Polanco. Batting seventh, playing right field, Mitch Haniger. Batting eighth, playing third base, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for the Mariners until J.P. Crawford comes back, it's Demo Dylan Moore. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 5-1 record, an ERA of 2.08, our third best pitcher, right behind George Kirby and Logan Gilbert. But at times he has been our number one. You know who the fuck it is. It is Brian Wu. Let's go. And we're going to need a very good outing out of Brian Wu today. 6 or 7 innings. We got to be able to find a way to get 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And Brian Wu, I don't need 8, 9, 10 Ks out of Brian Wu. We can still win with 4 to 7 Ks with a lot of pop-ups and ground-outs. But this is a must-win game for Seattle. We can't get swept by the Detroit Tigers. Let's go, baby. And like I mentioned, we go for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. We'll be shooting for 100 on the donos on every single stream. If you have a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid and like and retweet the post. That'll get us a few more people here. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please fucking do. Let's go. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, let's go over mental health, addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that I personally have gone through, and I know some of y'all are going through it now or in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. If you're not exercising, exercise. If you're not eating healthy, eat healthier. And make sure you're listening to 30 minutes of music every day, spending time with pets, family, and friends. You do those minor little things, it'll help you get out of the other side and help you win the day. Let's go, baby. Tigers, Mariners, rubber match, game number 3. Detroit up 2-0 in the series. They've already won the series, and we're trying to prevent the brooms to come out from the Tigers sideline, bullpen, and obviously area here tonight. Let's go. Can't believe we're in this type of position right now, but it is what it is. Matt in the building. What's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Let them know. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Anything you can do on that end would be greatly appreciated. Cat King in the building. Figured that you would be here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Cat King in the building. Hey, Parker is special, man. And you know what's crazy? I looked and looked and looked at so many images, and I wanted to put Parker on the thumbnail, but I couldn't find a good enough photo for it to look good. So we had to go with Veerling. But maybe next time down the road, I'll dig a little bit deeper, and hopefully I can find a photo that I can capture and bring over editing-wise that we can have Parker Meadows. He definitely has deserved to be on the thumbnail the last couple days, and you got to think, without Parker Meadows, maybe you don't win those games. He has been very instrumental, and it's my new favorite player on the Detroit Tigers. Of course, I know you guys have a few guys that are hurt that I like as well, like Harry Carpenter, as well as Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson. You've given up on him. I haven't given up on AAA just yet. And again, you got a few other guys like Veerling and McKinstry that have been kind of like everyday guys. But Parker Meadows, as far as a new and upcoming player, I like exactly what I see. He's a lefty. He can play defense. He's got a great swing. He's got good poise in the box. I can't wait to be able to see what he does moving forward. Let's go. PX in the building. What's good? Megan in the building. Appreciate you. $20 holla to get us started. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Thank you so much. PX with a $5. Let's go. No worries. Appreciate the 2 goats working, but still showing love. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 25, 75 to go to hit the goal. Let's go. Okay, I got you. Michael in the building. What's good? Yeah, but you got to think at some point or another, Foles was going to call it quits. You're only going to want to be a backup or third string quarterback for so long. And he already proved everything that he could and had his best games with, the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll see where it goes. But if you're an Eagle fan, you got to be excited. You got Saquon Barkley. You don't have a few pieces on that line, right? Obviously with, Jason Kelsey retiring and doing TV now. But it'll be very exciting to be able to see where Jalen can put that offense with Saquon. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. And we'll see if the Eagles can end up winning the division for the NFC East this year. Let's go. And I'll get Megan and DX some photos once we get into a commercial break. Appreciate the two of you. I'll start to get some of them loaded here. Go, Brian. We need a good outing out of Woo if we want to have any chance to win this last game. And again, if we want to be able to win the AL West and beat, teams like the Astros and the Rangers, you're going to have to, try to do as best as you can against teams like this. And it's not like this is a bad team. It's not like we're playing the A's or the White Sox. But even if we were, it kind of shows you that at any given point, you can play anyone and they can give you your A game. They can be playing like their, playoff game against you during the regular season. And if you don't bring your A game, you can get punched in the mouth early. If your defense isn't very good or your bullpen is a little shaky, you'll get rocked. And you got to give all the credit to Detroit. And again, they're only 5 games below 500. So remember, this isn't a team that has like 15 or 20 wins. They're 55-60, and they have arguably 3 of their best players, at least as far as upside. One guy got sent down to AAA with Torkelson, a top pick. We got 2 of their other guys, obviously with Carpenter and Green hurt, and pretty impressive to see some of the young guys like Parker Meadows step up. So we'll see where it goes. And here we go, my boy, Brian Woo. Let's go, baby. No early homers for Detroit. First pitch from Woo to Perez. Fouls it off. 0-1 count. And Wencel Perez got on George Kirby early. And again, we want to make sure we're keeping the runs and the hits at a minimum. If we can hold Detroit to 3 runs, in less than 7 hits, I think there's going to be a good chance. And again, I think the magic number for the Mariners today will be 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And if we can get to around that number, it's still possible we could end up winning a 3-2 game or a 2-1 game, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be like that. I feel like it might be a little higher scoring today, but we'll wait and see. There goes Perez. There we go. I like that. Brian Woo coming to wheel and deal. A K right out of the gate. Great start. Maybe Brian can get 8, 9, 10 Ks today. Let's go. I'll take 4 to 7, but if you're going to give me a start like that, yes, please. Nice job, Brian Woo. You my dog. Let's go. Next up, Rookie of the Month, Colt Keith. Another up-and-coming player that seems like a lot of Tiger fans are falling in love with. It's going to be a little bit of a transition to be able to see these guys develop. But I would be excited if I was a Tiger fan, knowing that Torkelson didn't really pan out yet. And now you got 2 lefties and Colt Keith and Parker Meadows. And I'm a big lefties guy, and if these guys can develop and pan out, that'll help Detroit stay afloat and get better and better as the years go on. I see you, Colt Keith. Another player that I'm starting to keep my eyes on here for Detroit. 251 average, 11 homers, and 42 ribbies for Colt. And we got a Colt in our farm system. And we got a Colt and a Cole. So we got a Cole Young and a Colt Emerson. So I can't wait for our Colt to come up. And hopefully we'll be able to have some good numbers just like your Colt, Colt Keith. 2 for 9 this series. Top of the first, 0-0. Brian Woo on the mound. 1 away. 90 hits this season. That's 7th for MLB rookies for Keith. Very good. Big swing and a miss. And Brian Woo says not today. 2 batters, 2 Ks. Let's go. Yes, sir. Nice job, Brian. Next up, third baseman today, typically in left field, Matt Vierling. Another individual we got to keep our eyes on, a guy that can easily go 2 for 4 on any given day. Captain Oreo in the building. DX in the building. Daniel in the building. What's good? Kevin and Brandy in the building. What's good? Top of the first, 0-0 Tigers and Mariners. 2 outs, 0-1 pitch to Matt Vierling. 255 average, 13 homers, and 44 ribbies here in 2024. Pitch on the corner for a strike. Finding the count 0-2. You guys aren't winning today. I'll just say that. You guys already got the 2 wins. We can't, lose 3 to you guys. I'm sorry. You guys aren't our playoff team this year. We should be, and again, I don't mind losing a game or 2, but, is it possible that you guys sweep? Yeah, it's very possible. We haven't really played very well, with the bats and the bullpen. But are we going to play bad 3 days in a row? I highly don't think so. And especially with the pitcher that you have, coming in. A lot of inexperience on Hannafy. 0 wins, 0 losses, only a few starts. ERA of 4.50. Doesn't mean that Hannafy can't go out and get 10 or 12 Ks. I mean, we've gone against a lot of guys that have been like 1-10 with an ERA of 11, and they still get like 10 Ks on the Mariners. But I feel that with the pressure against us, knowing that this is must win for us, you guys are playing with house money. I don't know if you guys are going to be playing with the same type of intensity that you played in the first 2 games. If you guys get the brooms out and sweep us, so be it. But I think that we're going to win tonight. That's just my prediction here today. Not me just being a Mariner fan, but I just don't think we're going to play bad 3 times in a row. But again, if Scoo was up pitching today, yeah, I'm saying, yeah, we're done. But again, as long as, we already had to go against Scooball yesterday. Should have probably won game 1, but you guys played better. And hopefully we can find a way to keep this interesting, even if we lose. But I'm hoping that we win. If we want to be able to beat the Astros and Rangers, we can't drop 3 games, to the Tigers, just period. And if you guys were Mariner fans, you'd be saying the same things that we're saying to the Tiger fans, And again, it's not like you guys are a bad team. You guys are only 5 games out, below 500. But more than likely, you guys aren't going to the playoffs this year, and more than likely we are. So, and we could end up winning the division. So, throw to first. There we go. Let's go, baby. But I feel the bats are going to be better, and you guys were kind of lucky that the bats were so piss poor for us in those first 2 games. It's not often with this new lineup that with Robles and Randy Rosarina and Justin Turner, usually those are the guys that set the tone. And then if we can get Cal involved, and then the rest kind of follow. The lineup in game 1, number 1 was a little off. And then obviously in game number 2, we didn't have our best players playing, at least starting. So I'm not really sure what that was about. Maybe just already anticipating we were going to get our ass kicked from Scoo, But again, Cal ended up having a chance late in the game to beat you guys. But Parker Meadows, jumped about 4 feet over the wall to rob the home run. And if that didn't happen, maybe we would have won. But you guys ended up getting off to, a very good start after that. But the gameplay would have maybe changed, because if we would have went up 4-3, maybe Andres Munoz would have came in instead of, another individual that's inexperienced, where you guys kind of run up the score a little bit, and then we ended up losing 6-2. So, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But the bottom line is the Tigers have been the better team the last 2 nights, and you guys deserve, obviously, all the kudos and all the praise. But with an inexperienced pitcher going against arguably our best pitcher, not named Logan Gilbert or George Kirby, I think that we're going to have a very good chance to get the dub here today. You guys already won the series. No need to get greedy. Getting the brooms out is one thing, but also I get it. Anytime you end up winning the first 2 games or winning the first 3, it's hard to get sweeps against anybody, even the A's, or the White Sox or any bottom feeder team. So I get what you guys are saying, but hopefully the sports gods will be in Seattle's favor here for us Mariner fans today. And we'll get some photos here loaded. Leading off for the Mariners, center fielder Victor Robles. Batting second, first baseman Luke Raley. And batting third, left fielder Randy Arozarena. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Let's go. See where we're at. Let's try to get to those 20 likes within the first hour. It'll help us with the algorithm. All right, we're only at 8, so again, we got about 30 people in the room. Dribbler, throw to first. Robles And he ran hard to first base, but they called him out. I don't think there'll be a replay. But if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Only a third of you have. We got 30 plus in the room, only 10 on the likes. It takes 1 second to smash that like button, and it'll help us in the algorithm, trying to get 30 to 50 overall. Let's go. Appreciate that, Cat King. Let's go, baby. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman takes a strike right down the middle from Hanafi, Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. Oh, 1 pitch to Raley. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 228 average, 13 homers, 35 ribbies for Nuke Raley. And hopefully he'll be able to nuke something here today. Yes, sir. Oh, what a grab. And Raley running hard. But Colt Keith with amazing defense there. That easily could have been a single. Nice job, man. And again, I'm not going to be a hater towards any opposing team, in the streams. And especially when they make a great defensive play. I'm a defensive guy, not only in baseball, but in football as well, as far as a fan. And amazing play right there. He got 2 amazing lefties right now with Parker Meadows and Colt Keith. I'm really starting to like both of these guys for your guys' Detroit Tigers. Next up for the Mariners, one of our studs and the biggest name in the trade deadline, Randy Arozarena. We need you, Randy. Come on now. Can't have you hitting into double plays. We need to have you hit, for power once in a while. But if you end up hitting a little bloop hit in the infield, that's fine as long as you can run it out. Let's go, baby. 16 home runs and 39 ribbies for Randy Arozarena here in 2024. 1-1 pitch from Hanafi. Pitch on the corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1-2 count. Come on, Randy, let's go. We got to set the tone early. And again, we haven't been getting those Victor Robles singles right out of the gate the last couple games, and that's usually what sets the tone for us. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Zay in the building. What's good? Two pitch, right down the middle. Got him. Let's go. Randy can't believe it. A nice job by Brennan Hanafi. Again, I tried to find some good Tigers photos of him, but since he doesn't have that much action just yet, the photographers haven't really been putting in that much work. And all the photos that I did find of him in a Tiger uniform weren't good. So this is the best one, even though it's kind of a, farm system photo, but at least it gives you a big close-up of what he looks like. And that's what it's about when we do these photos. Nice job, Brennan. All right, let's see who's up here in the top of the second. And I got photos loading here as well. Next up for the Tigers, first baseman, Bly Madris. Batting second, left fielder, Justin Henry Malloy. And batting third, my favorite player here on the Tigers, center fielder, Parker Meadows. Let's get some photos here loaded up for Megan as well as DX for their donos. Appreciate you. Start you off with some Anson, and then we'll go down any other avenue that you want. And then I'll go through the messages, see what DX is looking for photos as well. Appreciate you. Hell on Wheels, haven't seen it yet, but I will. And obviously Anson and many things, including Star Trek as well with the movies. Everyone's got their favorite things, and we'll make sure we approach that at that particular time, whatever you want. Appreciate you. Let's go. Yeah, we don't really have, most, if you talk to most baseball fans that ever interact with Mariner fans, there isn't really that many, you're going to get kind of douchebag fans of any fan base. But I would say a majority of Mariner fans, aren't douchebags. They're very smart, very intelligent. Some are going to be more biased than others. But again, what really separates me, I think on YouTube compared to any other sports or wrestling streamer is that I'm not biased. I kind of treat every team as if they were my own, not only on the NFL side, but on the MLB side, the college football side, the NHL side, the NASCAR side, whatever we're doing. If it's greatness, that's what it is. It shouldn't really matter where it's at, even if it's against a rival team. You don't want to be shitting on someone that's playing great. We want to make sure that we're rewarding, good play while we see it. So, but I appreciate the compliment, and that's just who I am and how I've been, since I've been a little kid. And again, I hope you appreciate the broadcast, and we appreciate anybody coming in as fans of the other team. And a lot of times once people come in and see a stream, they usually will come back. And hopefully we'll get Cat King and Kevin and Brandy back, even when the Tigers are off. If for whatever reason you're just wanting to be able to hang out with some baseball fans that aren't going to give you a hard time and we can just kind of vibe, you're definitely more than welcome. Top of the second, 0-0 Tigers and Mariners. And then what are you looking for photos, DX? Let me know what you're looking for. I know you're working. F1 photos. Okay, I got you. I got his file going. Big swing and a miss from Madris. Count is 2-2. Two pitch to Madris from Wu. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Count is full. 3-2. Let's go, Brian. We need a good outing here today. Last two starts have been a little shaky for the Seattle Mariners. Madris pops up. Should be a routine play. Polanco is there. One away. Next up, left fielder Justin Henry Malloy. I think we've only had to boot out a couple Mariner fans in the last, few years. So it's not like that many, And sometimes people, there's going to be different levels of fandom, right? There's going to be the bandwagon fans. There's going to be the fair weather fans that only watch when the team is good. There's going to be the average fan. There's going to be fans that are hardcore. And then you got the top tier, which is us, which are the Fanatics. With a lot of us, watching every single game or as many games, from beginning to end as we possibly can with our busy schedules, with our families and pets and what other obligations that we have. So, and obviously you want to be able to have some unbiased content, being able to have some new things you can learn stat-wise, game in and game out, and just having a good vibe in the chat overall. That's really important to me. And I've had to boot out hundreds, and it's probably going to get to the thousands. And I know I want to be able to grow, and get more subs and views and donos and shares, but I want to do it the right way. I want to make sure I have the right people in the room, not just have a big number, but it just, a bunch of chaos and a bunch of shit talkers and trolls in the room, ruining it for all the good people that just want to be able to have somewhere fun to watch baseball or any other sport that we're doing. So, top of the second, 0-0 Tigers and Mariners. 1-2 count from Brian Wu to Justin Henry Malloy. But shout out to all the new Tiger fans in the building. We appreciate you. 1-2 pitch, little dribbler towards third base. Rojas has got it. Got him. And Rojas has been a good surprise. We had Eugenio Suarez that got traded to the Diamondbacks with Paul Sewald, and we didn't really know what we were going to have at third base. But he has actually been pretty good, probably a better defender than hitter this year. But hopefully the bat will heat up at some point. And here we go, my new favorite player on the Detroit Tigers, robbing Cal Raleigh of a home run, but that's not going to make me hate him. It's going to make me like him even more. Center fielder, Parker Meadows. The guy can hit. The guy can defend. He's a lefty. What's not to like? And then you got another lefty here with Colt Keith. Again, if I was a Tiger fan, that's where I'd be looking. And you got guys like Matt Vierling to hold it down as far as a veteran, person for leadership in the lineup now until we're waiting for Carpenter and Green to come back. But I really like Parker Meadows. Pitch low into the zone. And it looks like both are starting to have some good success, Colt and Parker, for the Tigers. And I hope that they don't turn into Spencer Torkelson and you have to send them to AAA and they start playing bad or they get injured. I hope that they develop and get better and better and better. And I look forward to doing Tiger games again so I can see where they're at in their career at that point. But I'll definitely be looking at the standings, and I'll be looking at their batting average, and I'll be looking at their numbers now moving forward. It just kind of takes sometimes a stream or two to be able to watch a player and then keep an eye on them. 2-1 pitch to Meadows. Chops it off himself. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Greg in the building. Damon in the building. What's good? War Dog in the building. What's good? 2-2 pitch to Meadows. That one chop foul. Plus, when you end up being a full-time streamer and you're doing Mariner games and you're doing games of every team in the MLB, it makes you push to be able to be an expert, on every single team. I had to go in and, look at like name pronunciation. That shit is important. It may not be important necessarily to some of the Mariner fans if it's like a Tiger player, but for me, there's a lot of pride. You want to make sure that you're getting the pronunciation right. You're making sure that you're looking at all the stats, and there's a lot of work that goes kind of behind the scenes with everything. But, the Tigers have been playing well, and we'll see if Parker Meadows can get a hit next time around. All right, let's go to the bottom of the second, 0-0. Let's see who's up here for the Tigers. Or excuse me, the Mariners. I see you, Parker. Nice job by Brian Wu so far. 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. That's going to be the magic number here for Seattle today. Next up for the Mariners, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Batting second, it's our boy JT at DH, Justin Turner. And batting third, he can't defend, but he can hit, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Go to DX's file here, get him some F1 photos. Appreciate you. Hit you some Fernando and some Lando. Appreciate you. Let's go. Cycle through these one more time, and I got to make some more room. Appreciate the DX with a 5, Megan with a 20, and we'll get more photos throughout the commercial breaks. Oh, most homers in the first 4 seasons. Oh, look at Cal Raleigh, number 4. Piazza, 92. York, 88. Bench, 87. Cal Raleigh, 83. And for people thinking that Cal Raleigh, is not worthy of being an all-star, he's one of the best defenders. He's one of the best RBI and home run hitters. Yeah, he just needs to get that batting average up. But we should not be basing, all-star, appearances just based off batting average. Again, batting average is one of the key components, but so is home runs, so is RBIs and defense as well, popped up, as well as clutch hitting, to end up winning the game for your team late. There's not a better clutch hitter on the Mariners in the 7th inning and beyond than Cal Raleigh. He pops up there into the outfield for the first out, but hopefully he'll be able to get us going later today. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Justin Turner. Let's bring that electricity, baby. Let's go, Justin. And luckily, his hand did not get broken a couple days ago when he got hit on the pinky knuckle area. And J.P. Crawford got hit in the same spot and got a broken pinky, was out 4 to 6 weeks. We were fearing that might happen again with JT. It did not. X-rays are negative. And here he is with a 257 average, 7 homers and 37 ribbies. And he's a perfect fit for the Seattle Mariners. Behind in the count 0-2, Hannafy to Turner. Damon in the building. What's good? 0-2 pitch. Turner chops that one foul behind in the count. 0-2. Come on, baby. Let's go, JT. We need you. You know, this team is going to be able to go as Robles, Arazarena, Turner, and Raleigh go. You know, and everyone else will feed off those guys as we're waiting for JP and Julio to come back. But it's the same thing with the Tigers. You know, if you had Riley Green and you had Kerry Carpenter, that's extra oomph in the lineup as well as defensively. And we've been missing out with JP and Julio. And even though they haven't been having great years in 2024, they could still help. They're not going to be liabilities. Julio was starting to get better, obviously, in June and July compared to his April and May. And JP, you know, didn't really find himself just yet, but it kind of felt like he was getting closer to finding what the true JP Crawford is. And then he, you know, got the broken pinky. Little dribbler, throw to first, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, second baseman. We have a love-hate relationship with this player, kind of like Mitch Garver, except Mitch Garver can't hit or really defend. Polanco can't defend at all, worst defender on the team, but he started to hit as of late, singles, doubles, home runs, RBIs. So we just got to hope that Polo can do something like this, you know, sometime soon, maybe even today. Let's go, Polo. Pitches outside, 1 ball and no strikes. No worries. I'm jealous. I haven't got a chance to see Deadpool and Wolverine, but everything that I've heard from friends, you know, has been positive. I haven't really heard anything negative about the movie. It's been doing very well in the box office. And, you know, I don't go to movies that often, maybe once a year, maybe twice, but I would go for that movie. 2-0 pitch, pitches inside by Hanafi. 3 balls and no strikes. Yeah, because it's a pitching league now. Things have completely changed. There's no more shifting. You know, they have the pitch com and with the pitch clock, and I feel like it's more of a pitching league. Just like in the NFL, it's more of a throwing league rather than a running league like it was when we had like Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. I feel like sports has kind of changed. And again, you know, there's going to be cheating that's going involved with like PEDs and steroids and whatnot, but you have to assume it's not as, you know, prevalent as it was like in the 80s and 90s where it was like everybody, except for a few guys like Ken Griffey Jr. Thank God, you know, can't have my hero, you know, juicing up. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you're not going to get a lot of guys, you know, batting over 300. Hell, the Mariners have only had 2 players crack 300 all year, and it wasn't for a very long time. Josh Hollywood Rojas was batting 300 to 350, you know, in the beginning of the year in the 9-hole in April and May. And then we had Victor Robles batting a little over 300, but now he's just under. But yeah, it's not a lot. I mean, and if you really look at the list of the guys that are batting 300, a lot of them are Hall of Famers now. You know, you're getting guys like, you know, Aaron Judge or like a Shohei Ohtani, you know, guys like that. Or you might get a guy that is underrated, like a Brent Rooker, you know, and looking at guys like that. So there's going to be 300 hitters out there, but you got to think 30 teams, right? There's 30 teams in MLB. There's 1 through 9, right? So that's 270 players that are starting, not including like the pitchers, right? And you only got like 10 or 11, you know, that are doing it. So pretty crazy. So anytime you end up seeing a guy batting 300, 350, 400, even if it's a small stretch like Luis Ariz, you know, we saw him on the Twins and then the Marlins and now the Padres. To me, he's the most natural hitter, you know, in baseball as far as just making it easy, kind of like an Ichiro approach. And he's not Ichiro, but Ariz is pretty skilled on any team that he's been on. And then you've also seen guys like Stephen Kwan kind of come out of nowhere with the Guardians this year. And he was batting, you know, 300, 350, 400. His numbers were up there for a little bit as well. But again, you're normally not going to be able to sustain that for the whole season. You know, we don't have a lot of guys now that are Pete Rose, you know, Tony Gwynn or Ichiro playing nowadays. But it's definitely a pitching league. Big facts. Bottom of the second, 0-0, Tigers and Mariners. Runner at first with 2 outs, 0-2 count from Hanafi to Haniger. Let's go, Mitch. Pops that one foul behind the plate. Finding the count, 0-2. Come on, Hanny. Bottom of the second, runner at first with 2 outs. Behind in the count 0-2 to Mitch Haniger. Let's go. Throw to first. High throw. And got him. Wow. Foot went down on the bag after the high throw. Any replay? McKinstry with a good throw, but I assume that he's out. That didn't really look like safe to me. Yep. Nice defense by the Tigers there. That's a good question. I think if you notice, it only took like the first 10 at-bats, for his career in 2001, where he was under, like maybe 290 or whatever. And then after his first 10 at-bats that he had in his rookie year, he was above 300 the whole career, so I'm not really sure. I mean, especially in this pitching league, it's going to be tougher to be able to be hitting 300, 350, 400. But what I can say is that Ichiro would be one of the 10 or 11 now that would be over 300. Now, would he be number one? I don't know about that. Maybe at some point in the season he would be, but I would say, normally, Ichiro would be probably somewhere around 305 to 320. I would say that's a fair statement. And then when he gets hot, he can easily be in that 350, 400 category, just like we've seen, Bobby Witt, Stephen Kwan, Luis Ariz. But it's just like, are you going to be able to sustain 400? No. There's not really been players that have been able to do that for a season. We know like Ted Williams, and you go back in the numbers, you've seen guys, been pretty successful. But normally, I mean, if you're over 350, you're doing a lot. 350 to 400 is almost essentially like the same thing. Like if you're over 350, you're doing big things. And again, if you're in the 300 to 330 column or 340, you're doing obviously an amazing job. And there's a lot of hitters right now that are batting in the low 100s, low 200s. But I don't know. I mean, there might be months that Ichiro would be close, like 396. But I don't think anyone would be batting 400 playing today, even if it was Pete Rose, Tony Gwynn, or Ichiro. But I think that for a short period of time, 350 to 400 could be attainable for like a couple weeks at a time. But normally I would say for the elite guys, 300 to 350 would be doable, especially if you have a skill set and a regime and a repertoire, like those guys. So. Yeah, but Ichiro was leading off. So, I mean, Ichiro really didn't need anyone else to be able to get a hit for him to get a hit. He was the guy that set the tone as a leadoff hitter. So it was always him to get it started. He didn't move into the 2-hole or the 3-hole or the 4-hole. Throw to first, 1 away. So you got to think, if you're the guy that's up there first, you're not really feeding off the energy, of the guy that hit before you and knock him in with an RBI. So there was always that, I got to do it me. I got to set the tone instead of waiting for someone else to pick up the pace, and then I get my day started. So I think with Ichiro, he was like one of those individuals, where it was a team game, but obviously the statistics and the regimen and the repertoire, obviously was all him. And that's what made him so successful, by doing the same thing over and over again. Popped up to left field. Nice job by Randy Arozarena, 2 away. So I honestly think, if you look at Ichiro's numbers, it doesn't matter who. He could literally have 4 shitty players next to him or 4 great players. I still think that the batting average and everything that he did would have been the same. I don't think he really needed to benefit off anyone else. He was going to do it. And he was already in the Japanese, Oryx Blue Wave. He was already a pro for like 7 years before he even came up to the Mariners in 2001. So if he would have came up as a pro when he did in Japan, he might have ended up being the MLB leading hit hitter overall. If you look at his numbers, and if you combine his Japanese numbers and his American numbers, and obviously the American players were better back then than the Japanese players. But again, as you have seen baseball develop now, you got 2 of the greatest players to ever play baseball ever that are 100% Japanese, and Ichiro Suzuki and Shohei Ohtani. So kind of cool that, that might have been something that was like a fairy tale. But now as you look back, you're going to get, Dominican, Cuban, you're going to get the African-American, the Caucasian, you're going to get the Canadian players, you're going to get a little bit of everything. But you're starting to see a nice Asian movement from Hideo Nomo in 95, and then many players like Hideki Matsui, Ichiro, and a lot of the guys like Imanaga on the Cubs, and a few of these other guys that we're starting to see start to ball out. But no one is going to beat Shohei or Ichiro. Those are true one-of-ones. Big facts. All right, let's go to the bottom of the third, and we're still knotted up here at 0. See where we're at on the likes right now. Where are we at? All right, we're at 20. There we go. 44 minutes in. We have about 40 people watching. Again, if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We want to try to hit 30 to 50 overall. And it looks like there's at least 16 people that haven't done it yet. And I know we do have a global broadcast, so we have a lot of people in a lot of different countries that are watching along as well. Some may speak English, some may not. But one thing that we do have in common is baseball. So if you are in the room and you want to chat, please do. We'd love to be able to hear where you're from and obviously how long you've been watching. But again, when you end up looking at some of the metrics, I was kind of shocked on where it was. But like we got United States, Dominican Republic, India, Japan, Venezuela, Mexico, Canada, Nepal, Philippines, and Bangladesh. So those are the people that are typically watching on a regular basis. So nice to be able to see us branch out. Let's go, baby. Throw up a couple more photos for Megan here. Squeeze them in. Seahawks getting in some fights, obviously, but not a big deal. I mean, of course, TK, you don't want your players to hit another player in the head with a helmet, but, things get heated in camp, regardless on who the coach is. And, again, sometimes, emotions get a little crazy, especially in training camp, preseason time, and as you're getting your team situated for the preseason games as well as the regular season. But I don't think it's anything to really get too concerned about. There's going to be fights on almost every NFL team. It just depends on how many fights and how often they're going to be happening. So sometimes you need to let that aggression out. And then once you start playing against other teams, you won't be beating each other up. You'll be beating up on the other team. Next up, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. We need that bat and that defense to step up. 240 average, 6 homers, 23 ribbies. And Rojas was at 300, 350 in April and May. Little dribbler towards first base, 1 away. Got to get him back on track. Next up, shortstop, Demo Dylan Moore. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We're at 25.75 to go. Let's get those likes up. Let's try to get to 30 to 50. Yeah, Nomo was great. I mean, that was the first Japanese player, obviously, that kind of, got the big contract and came in with a great ERA and great command, for the Dodgers back then. A lot of times people remember, Mike Piazza, obviously, as catcher, and Hideo Nomo, doing his thing. And now you're starting to see a nice wave of more players, coming over and having success. Pitches outside on the corner, 1 ball and 1 strike to Demo. One pitch from Salmons to Dylan Moore. As we had the pitching change, they said that was enough. Didn't get a whole lot of Hanafi, but again, it's not like he gave up 5 runs. And if a guy is hurt or they feel like, there might be something off, or they just want to be able to take a look, or they just want to make a change. But we'll see if we get any other additional information on Hanafi. But it's not like he had a bad start and he didn't give up anything. Go Demo. 2-2 pitch to Dylan Moore. Chopped it foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the third, 0-0, Tigers and Mariners. Come on, baby. I mean, especially a guy that's only had 3 or 4 starts, ERA, 4.50, but, hasn't had any wins or losses to really get up or down about. Little chopper towards third base. Throw to first. And the defense for the Tigers has been immaculate all series. You guys have been kicking ass and taking names. There hasn't really been a lot of, big plays that have been given up. Just alone, Parker Meadows and Matt Vierling saved probably 3 or 4 runs in the last 2 games just by incredible defense, robbing home runs and diving catches in left field and in center. So see what we can get here at the top of the lineup. If the Mariners want to win, we got to get Victor Robles going. 0 for 1 with a ground out in the first, center fielder, Victor Robles. Let's go, Victor. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Salmons has got some pretty good command out there so far. 2-0 pitch. Popped up. And another routine play for the Tigers. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, like they've been doing this for many, many years. End of the third. 0-0 Tigers and Seattle. It feels like we need a little shot in the arm. It's like we got that emotional high when Victor started hitting well and batting over 300, playing like a top 10 player. Then the trade deadline happened, and we got Randy Arozarena and Justin Turner, and that excitement was there for about a week. But since then, and we have a couple guys that we got, as well, as relief pitchers. There was 4 guys total, including Garcia. But it just feels like something is missing. Obviously, JP and Julio, but it's like we just need a spark, something to kind of get us going. And I'm not really sure what that is. Obviously, Cal Raleigh homering yesterday, and if he would have homered again, and maybe if we won yesterday against Skoo, then we don't really know what happens here today. But it just kind of seems like the Mariners are going through the motions, and the Tigers are trying to win. And hopefully we can match their energy. Otherwise, we're going to get swept. But not the greatest start for either team. But the Tigers are playing with house money, and the Mariners are just trying to not get swept. So one team has a broom in their hand, and one team is trying to prevent them to start sweeping. So we'll see where it goes. But Detroit's playing good so far. I wish I could say the same for Seattle, but at least we're not down 4-0 right now. So at least it, could be a hell of a lot worse. Next up for the Tigers, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing for Detroit, Wencel Perez. Batting second baseman, Walt Keith. And batting third baseman, Matt Vierling. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. See if I can squeeze in a few more photos here for Megan. See if I can squeeze in some Jim Zorn in here real quick for you. Top of the fourth, 0-0, Tigers and Mariners. Let's go, Brian. We need that electricity. Let's go. Let's bring it. 1-0 pitch from Wu to Wencel Perez. Shot behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. One count to Wencel Perez. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first inning. Pitch is low and at the knees. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the fourth, 0-0, Tigers and Mariners. First career leadoff home run last night on George Kirby. That definitely set the tone on how the game was going to go the rest of the night. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is high and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got him. Terrible call by that ump. That was outside of the zone or inside. Tried to jam the hitter, but every once in a while, they're going to have a bad call, and it seems like umps do it more and more often. Good frame job by Cal Raleigh, but definitely should have been a ball, not a strikeout. But I guess that we'll take the K, but it wasn't a strike 3. Nice job, Brian. Next up, Colt Keith. I mean, if they're going to make suspect calls, as long as they do it for both teams. But, every ump is a little bit different. I guess we just have to be happy we don't have Angel Hernandez, umping in Major League Baseball anymore. 0-1 count to Colt Keith. Little dribbler towards first. Luke Raley is there. Little flip to Woo. There we go. Good defense by the Mariners. 2 away. Next up for the Tigers, an individual that can get a rally going at any given moment. Third baseman today, normally left fielder, Matt Vierling. He can play defense, he can play offense, and he's pretty much the main guy on the roster right now that's got the experience besides McKinstry. Vierling popped up. This looks like it could be a routine play for Haniger, and it is. 3 up and 3 down. Half of the game is already over. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. 0-0. Tigers and Mariners. I don't know if I anticipated it being this low scoring. Like, it's almost like we had like a Kirby Skubal kind of matchup, but it's not. You had one guy that barely played and another guy, and Brian Wu is one of our best, but it seems like the bats are having a hard time to figure things out here today. Maybe the bats will come alive maybe when we get more into the bullpen. I think we'll find out. See if I get a few more photos here. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th. 0-0 Tigers and Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's get to 30 likes, 30 to 50. Let's take a look to see where we are at. And obviously shooting for 100 on the donos on every single stream. Bills need to be paid. And we're getting into the preseason. Obviously this weekend. Lots of starters will not be playing, but there'll be a few rookies and a few backups, getting some good reps out there. Can't wait. Best time of the year. Next up for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 4th, 0-for-1, first baseman Luke Raley. Batting second, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Come on, baby. Yeah, the white 10. That would be slick if you could end up finding it in like a, in either a vintage jersey that, obviously, there's different branding that, like Russell Athletic used to be the MLB jerseys back in like the 90s. Like I got a vintage King Griffey Jr., it's like a vest jersey and whatnot with the turtleneck to match and whatnot. That's super rare. But when you find those rare ones in white, like I said, I also got like a very rare Nike sewn Joey Harrington that I would have paid $300 for, but some guy in Iowa or Ohio was selling it for like $30. And I said, yes, please. You can't find that jersey ever. Like they have the green and black one that Joey wore, but you can't find the white one. I've only seen one ever, and I had to scoop it and get it. So, but if you can ever find that Zorn, you let me know. That would be crazy. I'm not even sure if they make that jersey in a Mitchell and Ness. I don't think they do. You would probably have to try to find a regular one, like a vintage jersey that someone bought from back in the day and buy it used, as long as it wasn't in horrible condition. Britt in the building. How are you? How are you feeling? Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We missed you. How are you feeling? You still feeling sick? I hope you're feeling better. Hugs. Hugs sending to you from me. Hope you feel better. 3-2 pitch. Pitch is outside, and Luke Raley with a walk. We'll take that. We'll take that. Any way that we can get on base. And I think that, we might have to attempt a bunt or two. Because, again, if we haven't got a whole lot so far, why not try to throw the Tigers off a little bit? And let's see if we can go for a bunt here or there. I'm not saying that Randy has to do it right here. But if I'm coaching and we're at 0-0, why not try to, surprise the other team? And if you're normally going to be a power hitter or singles hitter, sometimes when you end up, lining up and doing a bunt, that could end up, bringing the guys over, getting a little bit of momentum. As long as you can properly put that bunt down, not everyone can. But if it was me, I definitely would be trying to bunt attempt at least once or twice this game. You never know how momentum can be started. Hit by a pitch, a walk, or even a bunt. It's like a missing part of the game. I feel like that is like the missing link in baseball, the bunting. Yeah. You got to be careful with white jerseys, but they always pop for sure. DX with another 5-er. O2 pitch. And they say that's a strikeout? Wow, really? I thought he got a little foul tip on that, but he did. Wow, foul tip, and then he cradled it into his crotch area for the strikeout. Wow, my God. Like that? Unbelievable. Appreciate you. $5 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. But again, if that was the Giants and Lions in the regular season, yeah, the score would probably be even flipped. It probably would be 41-3 Lions. So we'll see how good the Giants are this year, but I wouldn't expect anything from them. I would assume they would finish in last place this year in the NFC East. But Detroit's going to be very good. They're on the cusp of being the team that represents the NFC. Right now you got to look at the Niners and the Lions as being the top dogs for now, but there'll be a few others that will compete with them for sure. But I would say right now, those got to be the 2 teams that everyone will be gunning for in the NFC. There we go, Cal. Yeah, but not everyone is going to pan out as a pro. And as far as, me living in Oregon, a lot of the guys that we've had, there might be Oregon legends, but they might have not panned out in the pros. Like I love Joey Harrington. I love Michael James. I love DeAnthony Thomas. I love Marcus Mariota. And you could say all those guys were failures in the NFL. They didn't have the same type of success as they did in college, winning a Heisman or being the best running back or being the most explosive fast player like DeAnthony or being a Heisman candidate with Joey. But sometimes, just being good enough in college, yeah, it's still going to carry for the rest of your life. And of course, it would have been great if those other 4 guys would have panned out, but again, the NFL is a man's game. Not everyone is going to pan out in that league. And even if you only pan out in college, at least you panned out in something. So, and I still will rock those guys' jerseys. And yeah, I mean, some of those guys had rough outings. I mean, hell, if the Detroit Lions had a fucking offensive line, then maybe, he wouldn't have to dance around and get sack lunched all the fucking time. And then maybe Joey would have been able to be a backup or a third stringer, kind of like some of the other guys that we've had after him. Maybe not being a starter for a long period of time, but maybe a starter for, 3 years, 4 years, and then being a backup, after that, or a third stringer, but when you get hit that often, as he did, he bounced around from a couple teams and then said, fuck it, didn't want to get the CTE. So like Kellen Clemens, he ended up lasting a lot longer than Joey, and I don't think anyone anticipated that. Hell, he was from Burns High School here in Oregon. That was like a 2A, and normally we have like 5A and 6A schools. That was the same year as like Derek Anderson that went to the Beavers and then was on the Panthers. So, but he was like 6'6", 6'7", and it was built a little different. So, when you got the smaller quarterbacks that are 6 foot to 6'4", it's a little bit tougher. Bottom of the fourth with runners at first and second with one out. Salmon's on the mound, 2-2 pitch to Turner. Big swing and a miss. And there goes JT. Second punch out from Salmons. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Can we get an RBI, please? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's go. See where we're at. All right, we're at 23. We're 7 away from 30. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Now we're at 24. We got 16 people that haven't smashed the like button yet. We got 24 out of 40. Let's get there. It'll help with the algorithm and the metrics and get us more people in the room, and it'll help out with my overall numbers. So be greatly appreciated. Bottom of the fourth, runners at first and second with 2 outs. 1-0 pitch from Salmons to Polo. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, I got you. We're at 30, 70 to go. Let's go, Polo. Mariota's problem is just injuries. It's not like he was never good. He was always, a good player, had a good head on his shoulders, very likable, But again, when you end up being the Heisman and faster than most of the guys in college, and then you go to the NFL, and that's strike 3, there goes Polo. What's new? But when you end up going to the NFL, even if you end up winning the Heisman, you could be like a Jameis Winston or a Marcus Mariota, but that doesn't mean you're going to pan out. Doesn't mean, and even if he went to another team, hell, you could put Mariota on any team. The only reason that you're saying that is because you live in Hawaii, and that's kind of your golden boy, right? That's Marcus Mariota is the golden boy for Hawaii, right? And you've had other guys like Timmy Chang, and Colt Brennan that have played in Hawaii, but they haven't been Marcus Mariota, right? But the bottom line is, it's okay to admit, when a guy didn't pan out, and it wasn't because he didn't have the skill set. He was just injury prone. His touchdown to interception ratio is still good to this day, but he just can't stay on the field. And then once he went through, his prime years, now all Marcus is a backup. I mean, that's just how it's going to go for some of these guys. You're going to have a couple years to prove yourself. You don't get it done, there's going to be another rookie class, another rookie class, another rookie class trying to take your job. And if you don't get it done within the first 4 or 5 years, you're done. And you're going to be a backup or a third stringer or out of the league. So now, do I wish that Marcus ended up panning out? Of course. It would have been awesome to be able to see Mariota as a top 12 quarterback in this league, like a Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith kind of guy, but it just wasn't in the cards, And again, regardless of whatever team he would have went to, the injuries are there, and sometimes bodies are a little brittle, and they can't handle the NFL, damage on a day-in, day-out basis. So, it's okay. I still like LaMichael James. I still like DeAnthony Thomas. I still like Joey Harrington. I still like Marcus. But again, unless you're built like Haloti Ngata, unless you're built, like Justin Herbert, man's game, unless you're built like a horse, you're built, very strong, there's a chance that you might not be able to make it in the league because, again, if you're a little guy, or even if you got a decent size on you, you better pray that you don't get roughed up early. Otherwise, that might be the end of the career. I'm no dummy, man. I've been watching Duck football since '85, man, and again, that's the non-biased approach. You're going to get some, Duck fans that are just going to be, all our guys are great, but when you look at the NFL, like how many guys have actually been great on the NFL side? Not a lot, and even Herbert has been getting hurt in the last couple years. Little dribbler up the middle by Bly Madras for a single, But you could probably say, Haloti Ngata, Kayvon Thibodeau, and then we're going to be getting more and more players in the recruiting trail, and we'll see what Dylan Gabriel can do. He might be able to win the Heisman this year. It's possible. He'll be one of the top 5 candidates, and we'll see what Oregon can do against Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State in the Big Ten, but just because Dylan Gabriel, let's say Dylan Gabriel wins the Heisman and the Oregon Ducks win the Natty by a miracle, that doesn't mean Dylan Gabriel is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL. There'd be probably a good chance that he fails. He might not be able to be that good. Maybe just a guy. So we're going to have to wait and see on how it all plays out. But we'll see. It'll be exciting for college football in the NFL this year for sure. Next up in the top of the 5th, runner at first, 0-1 count to Justin Henry Malloy. Another base hit back-to-back. Not a good start here for Brian Wu. Runners at first and second with no outs. We need a double play. And of course, my favorite player next up, center fielder Parker Meadows for the Tigers. And this is not good. Good for Tiger fans, not good for us. Because this could be a home run or an RBI, and this might get them on the board. Novosad lost his shot. We already have many of other guys that are going to, take his spot. So he was going to be one of the backups, for the roster, but he'll never touch the field. There's going to be other guys that are ahead of him. So, and we assume as long as Dylan Gabriel doesn't get injured, he'll be not only the Heisman frontrunner on the Vegas line. He's number 1 right now. So we'll see how it all pans out. But again, we had to go against a lefty and Michael Penix Jr. last year, and how difficult that was for a lot of teams. And now we get our own lefty. So I'm very excited to go from Bo Nix to Dylan Gabriel. Should be fun. And there you go, Parker Meadows. But I tell you, a hit right down that first base line. Told you, man. Now you got runners at second and third with a 1-0 lead. Sometimes you can just tell, if you're not a biased person, and you can just look at talent and you can have an idea if something's going to happen or not. And even though I love Brian Wu, I'm not an idiot. I'm watching the games very closely. I'm looking at the pitch count. I'm looking at the pitches that are being thrown. And there you go. ESP comes naturally for me. Next up, catcher Dylan Dingler. And again, normally when pitchers start to slow down, if you can't make it to the 6th and they don't go extra to 7th, normally trying to rough up a pitcher in the 5th is usually when they get tired and start losing their location. And not looking good now here for the Mariners. Runners at second and third with no outs, 1-0 to Dingler. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Big swing and a miss. Finding the count 0-2. Yeah, Novosad is never going to touch the field. And then you got to think, depending on how far we go, there's going to be a lot of transfers and other guys that are waiting in that quarterback room. And, you never know, who might transfer over next. Like you might get the Kansas quarterback or Northwestern, or there might be a Ohio State transfer or someone from Texas A&M. You never know who's going to be available and who wants playing time instead of just being a backup, on Georgia for 3 years. Maybe they want to play right away. So for guys like Novosad, I highly doubt that he'll even be a part of the Oregon Duck organization, unless he just wants to sit and be like 3rd or 4th string for his whole career. But I highly doubt that. Most of these guys want to play. Brian Wu, big swing and a miss. And we finally get an out. Bye-bye, Dingler. Next up, 0 for 1, shortstop today, Zach McKinstry. We need a double play bad. Damien in the building, what's good? And again, I think that really shows a lot, not only about the channel, but for me, myself, I could be the biggest, homer for my players and my team. But again, you want to make sure you're being honest and you're being genuine. And there's so many people on podcasts and TV that aren't, and then when you end up listening to them, you get tuned off. and turned off. You're just like, what is this? No one wants to be able to turn on ESPN and hear them talk about the Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl, which they've been doing for the last 30 years. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Like, yeah, they're a popular team, but they just do the same thing year in and year out, and they choke, right? So again, you'd rather be able to hear like honest, commentary and honest bias, and just being able to, even give the criticism even against your own guys. That's when you got something special. You can easily admit, that maybe some of the guys that we have aren't as good as maybe some people think. And of course we want to be able to have, the most success with our guys, but we don't want to be, just straight up liars and biased and be acting like all the guys, are the best thing since sliced bread when they're not. Not everyone is going to pan out in the pros, but that doesn't mean that we still don't love them, for what they did in high school and college for our respective teams. Top of the fifth, runners at second and third, 0-2 count to McKinstry, pitch is inside towards the shoulder. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When we first signed him, there was potential, but again, just the way that the NIL deals are and the transfer portal and the way that, we're getting a lot of money coming in, obviously with Phil Knight and Nike, and we're trying to keep up with Georgia and Ohio State and obviously Texas as far as the top 4 teams. You're still going to see Michigan and Alabama sprinkled in the top 10. Everyone's dishing out shitloads of money, to try to be able to get the best players. And, the loyalty is gone. There never was loyalty. But now even more so, there's not. Right in between the gap. And that's going to bring in 3-0 Tigers. God, we might get swept here. Fuck. Nice job by Zach. 3-0 Detroit. And again, if we give up 1 to 3 runs, that's kind of what you expect a lot of times out of your pitchers. But again, we shouldn't be at fucking 0 right now. Javi Baez with the day off and the late scratch. Now we have right fielder Ryan Vilade. Hopefully we play better against the Mets, and we still have a chance to be able to, at least have a half inning or 2 before the game is over to get 1 to 3 runs. But the bleeding has to stop here. We can't give up any more. 3 has got to be the maximum for Detroit. If they go above 3, we're done. But if we can keep it at 3, and we can score like 1 or 2 by the 7th or the 8th, we will have a small percentage chance to come back. But not looking good here tonight. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is outside, and as you can tell, Wu is losing his control, but our bullpen stinks, right? So, of course, if we had a good bullpen, we could have put like Matt Brash in or someone else, but since we don't, then you have to go a little bit longer with your starting pitcher, at least to the 6th, and sometimes that ends up hurting the team, where instead of it being, maybe 1-0, you keep a guy in. But let's be honest, if we would have brought in our bullpen and took Wu out a couple batters ago, the same thing probably would have happened because our bullpen isn't very reliable right now. So I guess it just depends on who gives up those runs and big hits, the pitcher, the starter, Wu, or whoever they bring in. Austin Voth, Trent Thornton, Taylor Saucedo, all these guys that are kind of unreliable. So we'll see what happens next. But we got to get the hitting going. We need a shot in the arm. We need that Uncle Mo and that momentum. And it's been very dry against this Detroit Tiger team. The pitching staff is doing the best they can for the starters, but the hitters have not been good. It's like this team almost feels like we're playing like we did before Randy Arozarena, before acquiring Justin Turner, before Victor Robles started playing well. And that's not a good thing. Good for the Tiger fans that are in the room, but not for us Mariner fans. 2-2 pitch to Vilade. Big swing and a miss and got him. 7th K for Brian Wu, but we're down 3-0. It's like those 7 Ks are nothing. Next up, DHing for the Tigers, Wencel Perez. And again, we need better production It's like you got George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo, and Bryce Miller. And again, we need better production. But you got to give credit where credit is due. While you look on this Tiger team, they had 2 guys up. They had their most dangerous hitter that's up and coming in Parker Meadows, and he delivered. And again, when you can kind of tell a guy is just waiting to have his moment. He has been the MVP in this series, Parker Meadows. If they don't have Parker Meadows playing, maybe we win a game, maybe even 2. But as long as Parker is there, he's been doing big things and holding it down for Detroit. That one chop foul by Winsell Perez. 0-2 count. We're at 30. 70 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's get to 30 likes. Where are we at? We got 40 plus in the room. 4 more likes to get to 30. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Perez. Haniger is there. Warning track. And then the bleeding has stopped. But you got to give the Tigers all the credit. That was a great inning for them, roughing up Brian Wu in the 5th. And that's typically what happens. An inning before, that you want him to go, gets a little roughed up in the 5th. And it's a common thing for pitchers to get roughed up in the 5th if they don't make it to the 6th. Damage was done. Parker Meadows, I see you. 3-0. Detroit. If you need a little recap, if you're just joining us in this particular broadcast, it was very light, no hits really for either team, or very minimal. And Seattle only has 1 hit up to this point, not good. But Parker Meadows doubled to right. Madras scored. Malloy to third. And then right after that, Zach McKinstry in the same inning doubled to right. Malloy scored. Meadows scored. 3-0 Detroit. So you had 1 up-and-coming player and 1 vet to get it done. The vet, McKinstry, and then Meadows, the new and up-and-comer. My new favorite player on the Tigers, Parker Meadows. All right, Mariners. We got to be able to get something going. We got to get 1 to 3 runs here in the next 2 innings to 3 innings. At least, bottom of the 5th, bottom of the 6th, bottom of the 7th, bottom of the 8th. We have to at least, at that point, by the bottom of the 8th, we better have at least 1. I'm hopefully 2 or 3, but the way the game is going, who the hell knows? We might end up getting shut out unless we end up having a good inning. Let's go, Seattle. Wake up. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, Mitch Haniger. Justin Turner, we're going to need you. Randy, we're going to need you. Victor Robles, wake up. But for now, Mitch Haniger. Batting second, 0 for 1, another individual that needs to step up. Play like you did in April and May when you were batting 300 to 350, Hollywood Josh Rojas. And batting third, 0 for 1, shortstop Dylan Moore. Maybe Dylan can get us with a solo dinger to kind of just stop the bleeding. Someone has got to do something. And out of these next 3 guys, Demo is the most likely to get an RBI, a hit, a single, double, triple, or a home run. All right, let's go. Well, the whole team has been batting about 200 for the whole year, so that doesn't really matter. It just, at some point, someone is going to make a big play, or a couple guys will. But again, we don't have any 300 hitters. We had one in Victor Robles recently, but he's under now. So a lot of the guys are going to be batting 200 to 220. So if that's the case, you just got to be able to find your moment, And that's how it's been all year. But again, when we're good and when we score 5 to 10 runs, that's when Victor Robles, Randy Arozarena, and Justin Turner usually have a hit or 2 each. When they don't, then we play like this. And remember, we don't got JP or Julio either, so it is what it is. And Haniger goes down easily, which I figured he would, 1 away. Next up, Hollywood Josh Rojas. You got to also believe, Belief is a big part. Baseball is the hardest sport I feel to play. It's the hardest thing to do is hit a baseball. And again, a lot of it starts mentally with the confidence, and you got to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, chances are, you're going to get into a little bit of a rut. So. Bottom of the 5th, 3-0 Detroit. 2-0 pitch to Hollywood Josh Rojas. 2-0 pitch. Pitch is low at the knees. Should have been called a ball, 3-0. And Rojas is saying, what was that? That was a foot below the strike zone. And he called it a strike. Bullshit call. Should have been 3-0. We could have ended up getting a nice walk there. But hopefully Rojas doesn't get, frazzled there, which he probably will. And now this will probably lead to an easy out. But we'll see how it goes here. Let's see if he can regain his composure. 2-1 pitch to Rojas. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. We need one more like to hit 30. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We need one more to hit 30. Let's go. Awesome. Cool. Always nice when you can get a cool collectible in the mail. Rojas. Close to the warning track. Slide out. 2 away. Next up, shortstop, Demo Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. Oh for 1 and a ground out in the third for Dylan Moore. Dylan is a streaky player, but once he gets hot, he's a little bit more reliable than Rojas and Haniger, and most of the time Polo. But again, there's going to be a drought where Demo doesn't get anything for like 10 at-bats, and then he'll end up going with like 3 out of 4, where he'll end up getting a home run, a single, a double, a triple, big RBIs. So you just got to wait for that hot streak to happen, and I just don't know if we're going to get it here tonight. I hope so, but 204 average, 9 homers, 36 ribbies, and a majority of the team is batting very, very low numbers. Number 1 strikeout team in baseball, but it's gotten better since we got Robles, Arozarena, and Turner. But in the last few games, we've definitely hit a wall against Detroit. This is not the same team that we had rolling when we first got those guys to come into the lineup. We're definitely, in a little bit of a slump. Pitches low and at the knees, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Demo. Someone has got to get the rally started. Let's go. Check swing. And that one ends up going foul. Count remains 2-2. I can if you want, no problem. Demo, shallow right field. Easy routine play for the Tigers, and we just haven't been able to get the momentum going. End of the 5th inning, Tigers 3, Mariners 0. Nice job by Detroit. They're playing great. If you guys end up sweeping the Mariners, is this going to be your guys' first sweep of the year? Or have you guys swept anyone this year to your knowledge? Any Tiger fans that actually watch every single game? I don't know about the people that we have in the room, if you guys are hardcore fans and watch every game, or if you guys watch most of the games, and if anyone can look up that information, unless you guys know that offhand. But you guys are getting closer and closer to sweeping the Mariners. But obviously a new collectible coming to town there in Australia for you, Megan. And anytime you can end up getting collectibles, it ends up brightening your day. Good to hear. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. It's super important. The most important thing you can do every single day. Make sure that you are checking off the boxes every single day. If you have depression, anxiety, if you end up having addiction, there's triggers that will trigger the behavior and certain things that you say or that you do action-wise. So if you're not exercising, exercise. If you're not eating healthy, eat healthier. If you're not listening to music, listen to music 30 minutes a day or more. You'd be really surprised if you do those 3 basic things. It'll help you get out of the funk a little bit sooner and help you win the day. Let's go, baby. 3-0 Tigers. Let's see what is up next here for Detroit in the top of the 6th. Leading off for the Tigers, 0 for 2 with a K, second baseman, up-and-coming promising prospect, Colt Keith. I like him. He's a lefty. Batting second, third baseman today, typically in left field, Matt Vierling. And batting third, Batting cleanup, first baseman, Bly Madris. Come on, Woo. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, baby. Let's go. Keith pops up, and that one goes foul. Finding the count 0-1. All right, we hit 30 likes. 5 more to get to 35. 10 more to get to 40. Now we're at 31. 9 more to get to the goal to get to 40. Let's go, baby. 9 more before the game ends. I know we can do that. Let's go. One away. But again, the pitching really hasn't been that bad for the Mariners. It's just that we haven't been able to hit and to be able to supplement, what the other team is doing to us. And normally we can. So hopefully, we have the Mets coming up. So if we play like this against the Mets, it's not going to be good. Throw to first. 1 away. 2 away. Tigers third. Swept the Reds once or twice? There goes Keith. There goes Vierling. Next up, Bly Madris. Top of the 6th, 3-0 Detroit. Strike one right down the middle by Wu. Top of the 6th, 3-0 Tigers. 2 outs, 1-1 pitch from Wu to Madris inside. Tried to jam the hitter. 2 balls and 1 strike. Come on, Mariners. Come on, baby. The best innings for the Mariners are typically the 7th, 8th, and 9th because we can't usually hit starting pitching, so hopefully we can rally. Popped up. And Arozarena and Victor Robles are there. Let's go. Now we got to try to get 1 run here in the bottom of the 6th. Let's go. We have to be productive now. That was the first half of the game. The Tigers dominated. Now we have to see if we can get the bats to come alive. We need a little bit of a rally. We need 3 consecutive hits. Leading off, center fielder 0 for 2, Victor Robles, which never happens. Next up, second, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, first baseman Luke Raley. And batting third, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And he normally doesn't go 0 for 2 either. So we need better numbers out of Victor, Randy, Cal, and Justin Turner, or we're going to lose this game, plain and simple. We need our best players to step up. So that way, when Polo gets up, Haniger gets up, Rojas and Demo, there's not as much pressure. We can let the main guys get the job done the first 5, and then anything we get out of the bottom 4 will be just gravy. So. White Sox and the Reds. So this would be the best team that you've swept. Because obviously the Reds aren't making the playoffs. The White Sox aren't making the playoffs. And the Mariners are either going to win the AL West over the Astros, or we're going to get second place and we're going to get a wild card. But again, it all depends on the bullpen, the hitting, getting Julio and JP back, and not playing like this against other teams. And fuck, if we're playing like this now, going against the Mets, where before this series, I think we were pretty excited for that series. But now, I don't know, man. If we play like this against the Mets, fuck, we might get swept by the Mets also. So hopefully we can find a way to get the bats to, turn up a little bit here. And hopefully it'll start right now. Let's go. And I got the TJ Hawkinson's loading up here for you, DX. Here at the next commercial break. Takes a strike, 0-1 count. Robles popped up. Man, this is crazy. I am not used to seeing Robles go 0 for 3. I mean, he was playing like a top 10 player in baseball for many, many weeks, and this is very shocking to see him struggle. But again, it's baseball. You know, players are going to go through runs where they're really good and then they struggle. Next up, first baseman today, Luke Raley. Pitches outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Raley, he's got the distance. It's going. Back, gone! Whoa! Let's go! Yes, sir. Nuke Raley, baby. Giving us that energy. And at some point, somebody for the Mariners has got to go off. And there it is. It took us into the 6th inning, right down the middle. Luke Raley says, "Hey, I'm Luke Nukem, Nuke Raley. Let's go." Yes, sir. 3-1. Tigers, we'll take it. Nice job, Luke. That a boy. There we go. Now we feel we're back in it. You know, and sometimes you just get, you know, as a Mariner fan, a lot of times it's like, you know, you're in misery, depression, sadness, right? And then all of a sudden it just takes like 1 or 2 batters and then you're right back in it, you know, after being miserable for 5 or 6 innings. So there we go, baby. We're back in it, Captain Oreo. There we go. We're back in it. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. 3-1 Tigers. Next up, another individual that needs to get going, Randy Arozarena. Let's go. Biggest name at the trade deadline. You need to play like it. Let's go. Chopped it off himself. Foul. Luke. Yes, sir. Go-to pitch. Randy pops up. Could be a routine play. Center fielder, Parker Meadows is there. 2 away. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And this is an individual that definitely can hit a solo home run at any given point in the game, but usually does most of the damage in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, but still can get home runs in 1 through 6. And let's see if he can get a home run or a single or a double here. Let's go, big dumper, my boy, the MVP for the Mariners, Cal Raleigh. Pitches high and outside, 1-0 count, 1 ball and no strikes. MSU in the building, what's good? Let's go, Cal. If there was ever a time to get a home run, you know, in the next couple innings, it would be obviously tonight. And got robbed by Parker Meadows yesterday. You know, had a home run from the right side and had one from the left. But if Parker didn't try to do his best King Griffey Jr. Julio Rodriguez impression of the no-fly zone, you know, getting his whole arm and elbow above, you know, the wall. I mean, it was up there. It was one of the best home run, you know, robbing catches I've seen this year. And if that would have happened, maybe we would have won last night. Momentum may have shifted to our favor, but again, our bullpen still stinks. So we'll see. It'll be a work in progress. That one, chop foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Come on, baby. Let's go, Cal. One-two pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trident's up, baby. Let's go. But most of the time, Cal will homer late, 7th, 8th, 9th inning. So I highly doubt it'll be right here. and we just got one. We don't want to be greedy and ask for 2 or 3, and after we've been doing nothing all game. 2-2 pitch. There he is, strike 3. Yeah, a lot of the preseason games are meaningless. You're not getting the starters. Some of the rookies are playing, some aren't. Again, it definitely gets you to be able to, see guys that might be like 5th string wide receivers that might ball out, like in the NFL Hall of Fame game. And then if anyone gets hurt, maybe that player might get a chance to play and move up the depth chart to number 3 or number 4. But, a lot of the teams that normally would win in the regular season will lose, and a lot of the shitty teams will win. Because, that's just the way that it goes, depending on, who's playing for the backups, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th string. So, if the Lions end up losing to the Giants in the regular season, that wouldn't happen. So, you can only take it, for what it is. It's preseason. So now, do I still watch preseason here and there? Yeah. But again, the main one will be week number 3, the last week, because that's when usually you'll get the starters to play for a half or at least a quarter. And then that will be the closest thing that you're going to get to a regular season game, for week number 1. All right, end of the 6th. The damage is done. 3-1 Tigers. And thank God we got our boy, Nuke Rayleigh, to get us on the board. Now we feel we have a chance. Not saying that we're going to win, but we have at least a chance now. Let's go. Let's see who's up next here for the Tigers. Next up for the Tigers, left fielder Justin Henry Malloy. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a K. Center fielder, my favorite player on the Tigers, Parker Meadows. And batting third, catcher Dylan Dingler. See if we can get some TJ Hawkinson up here for you. Got him loaded up. Appreciate you, DX. Big Iowa fan. And obviously this is tight end university. Dallas Clark, George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Sam Laporta, Noah Fant. And Noah might be the one that's not as good as the others, but still, if you make the NFL, that obviously is saying something. And it definitely is the best college to develop tight ends as of the last 10 to 15 years. Malloy, little dribbler, throw to first. Rayleigh, 1 away. Next up for the Tigers, Parker Meadows. And he's been a big X factor, contributing in every single game against the Mariners. I like his defense. I like his poise in the box. My favorite player on the Tigers. I mean, besides Scooball. Scoo is my favorite. But obviously, if I have a second favorite, it is definitely Parker Meadows. And there we go, Parker again. I got to stop talking him up, but I mean, I can't help it. If the player is a good player, that's usually what's going to happen. And a single to right by Parker Meadows. Nice job. No hate for me. Next up, catcher Dylan Dingler. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Tigers. Runner at first. 0-1 count. Dingler pops up. Here we go. 2 away. And I got a couple photos here for you, DX. TJ Hawkinson, great player. We're getting closer and closer to football season, college and NFL. Can't wait. Next up for Detroit, shortstop Zach McKinstry, who's actually had a solid game here today as well. Throw to first. And they still got Wu out there. And again, with the woes that we've had in our bullpen, there's a reason why that he's still out there. Because, even a tired Wu, a tired starter is going to be better than anyone that we bring in the bullpen besides Andres Munoz. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. That's what I was about to say exactly. Pitch is outside and high, 2-0 count to Zach McKinstry. 2 balls and no strikes. We're at 30, 70 to go. Likes up, donate, comment, share. Let's try to get to 40 likes before the stream ends. See where we're at. We're at 33. We need 7 more to hit 40. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. It takes 1 second. Now we're at 34. Thank you. Only 6 more to hit the goal for the stream for the night. And then we're at 70 more to get for the goal on the donos. Let's go. We got 3 innings to get 6 likes. I think we can do that for sure, especially if newbies start coming in. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Tigers. Runner at first, 2 outs, 3-0 count from Wu to McKinstry. Right down the middle, takes a strike looking, 3-1 count. Teams like Wisconsin and Iowa are going to hurt the most by bringing in Oregon, USC, Washington, and UCLA. Because normally it was going to be like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, right? And then now you got to worry about Oregon and USC taking a little bit of, some of the wins, as well as UW and UCLA, getting, kind of back on track and seeing what they can do. Obviously, UW lost a lot of their players to the NFL and lost their coach to Bama, so they're not going to be as good as they were, right? But the teams that are going to hurt the most by the new addition of the 4 teams from the Pac-12 as Wu goes to the pen, are going to be Wisconsin and Iowa. And again, even if Michigan drops off a little bit, they'll still be up there. Most people think it'll be Ohio State and then Oregon and then Michigan and then, Penn State. And then we'll see after, those particular teams who will step up, who will be the number 4 team, after Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State, who will be number 5. Will it be Wisconsin? Will it be Iowa? Will it be UW, UCLA, or some other team that steps up out of nowhere that has a great year? We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if the Mariners are going to come back. We ended up chopping into the lead a little bit, 3-1. It really depends on the bullpen from us and the bullpen from the Tigers. And if we can get a few guys to get going, and again, we only have 2 hits all game. And luckily one of them was a home run. So if we can just get 1 more run in the bottom of the 7th, 1 more run in the 8th or the 9th, then maybe we'll have a chance to win this game 4-3 in the 9th or the 10th or the 11th. Otherwise, we might end up losing 3-1 or 3-2, but hopefully that the hits and runs are not done. But again, the magic number to me at the beginning of the stream, like I told you, 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And if you're looking at the score right now, that would give us a victory. And a lot of times I can kind of gauge what we're going to need at that particular time, but we are on the brink of getting swept by the Detroit Tigers. I mean, losing to Scooball yesterday is a no-brainer, but games 1 and 3 today and obviously on Tuesday were winnable. And we let it slip through our fingers, and Detroit played better. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You're not going to be able to win, every single game when you play 162 in the regular season. Fatigue end up playing a part, and sometimes you're just not in a good rhythm. And we haven't played well in this series. Brian Wu, not the greatest outing for Brian. Bringing in Jimmy Garcia, though. All All right, Brian Woo's final numbers: 6.2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, which is good, 7 Ks, 88 pitches, 53 strikes, ERA of 2.27. But again, when you end up giving up 3, back before we had Robles, Arozarena, and Turner, it felt like doubled, 6, and we weren't going to come back. But now, with our lineup being better, even with JP and Julio hurt, it only feels like 3-1. Like, we're close. We can catch up, right? But again, we need our bats to light up here in these last 3 innings. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We're at 30, 70 to go. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Tigers. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Ryan Valade coming in late for Baez as a late scratch right before the game started. Let's see what happens here. 0-2 count, pitches high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we got Jimmy Garcia, which is one of the additions that we got from the Blue Jays as one of our bullpen guys. I like him. He's good. He's actually one of the good ones, you know. But Santos is injured, so there we go. We got him. But really, I think we only have 2 guys we can trust. Jimmy Garcia and Andres Munoz, who's the closer at the end of the game. So all right, man. No problem. I'll still be here. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 7th, and the best inning for the Seattle Mariners in 2024 based off home runs, singles, doubles, triples, you know, getting guys hit by a pitch and not injured or getting walks is the 7th inning. And most of the time, that's because we can't fucking hit, and we have to wait for the starting pitcher to go out, and then we start raking in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And those are typically our best innings. But a lot of times, if we don't get anything in the 7th and the 8th, the game is already over in the 9th. So we'll see the body language here in the bottom of the 7th and the bottom of the 8th. If we can get at least 1 run, either in this inning or next inning, then you'll still see like the aura, and maybe they're going to, you know, still bring it. But if it's 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th, chances are we're not going to get anything and the game will be over and we'll lose 3-1. The brooms will come out. And that's just because I've watched this team play. I can kind of tell, you know, and I'm not going to be right on every prediction, but a lot of times when you watch as many games as I do, every single one, beginning to end, even when we're getting our ass kicked 10-0, I can't turn the game off. You know, this is my full-time job. I got to sit through it, right? So you can start to pick up little tendencies and little things, but, you know, the Tigers have been 100% dominant, you know, in this particular series. Parker Meadows has been eye-opening for me, and there'll be 2 guys that I keep track of moving forward for this team. Number 1, Parker Meadows, the center fielder, lefty, and number 2, another lefty, second baseman and DH specialist, Colt Keith. So I love lefties in sports. And the Tigers got 2 young up-and-coming ones that look like they're going to be pretty good moving forward. Let's go, baby. We need 5 more likes to be able to get to 40. We got 50 in the room. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We're at 35. We're trying to get to 40 to 50 before the stream ends. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. And we're at 30, 70 to go to hit the goal. All right, Justin Turner in the box. Salmon's doing a good job so far on the mound. And did we get a report on the starting pitcher, why they ended up relieving him? Did he have some tightness in his leg or arm? Was there any type of new update, Tiger fans, on what was going on with him? Justin Turner with a check swing blooper, but the defense has been money. Colt Keith right there. Justin Turner, need to be better. Next up, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Now, this would be a great time for an unexpected home run from a guy that we don't really expect anything from. Come on, Polo. How many photos do you need for a homer? 3? Trident's up. Let's go. We need a single, double, or a home run. Come on, Polo. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Detroit. Runner at first. Or I wish. No runner at first. Bases are empty. Polo, 1 away. That one chopped foul behind in the count 0-2 already. Come on, Polo. Come on, baby. Love-hate relationship with this player. It's the only player on the Mariners staff that's gotten booed probably in the last 15 years. And the boos were from like the whole stadium. And then after getting booed for about a month, he started to pick it up. His defense is still terrible, but at least he can hit once in a while. Singles, doubles, triples, home runs, an occasional RBI. But still, we definitely made a mistake by signing Mitch Garver and Jorge Polanco in the offseason. That's why it's better to develop guys in your own farm system and draft guys rather than trying to pick up a guy in the offseason, you know? And the Mariners, you know, run to first, and it's wild, yes! And he doesn't get a chance to run to second, falls down. Hopefully he's okay. I know he does have a knee issue. Let's see if we have a pinch runner for Polo. And I know Ryan Bliss got recalled. We got an error by the Tigers, and we'll take it. Nice job, Polo. Nice job, baby. Sometimes you got to talk it into existence. Oh, he felt kind of funny on that knee there. Next up, 0 for 2 right fielder, Mitch Haniger. Normally, Haniger will never play because that'll be Victor Robles in right field once Julio comes back in center, Arozarena in left field. But we'll see if Polo's knee is fucked up there, and they might have Bliss, pinch run, which would be the smart thing to do. So let's go. All right, no problem. Have a good rest of your day. And then again, I will be live tomorrow for the Mariners and the Mets. Appreciate your support. We'll see if we get a few more goats to come through to show some love to get us to our goal. And then tomorrow's stream will be at 7 o'clock Pacific. Mets and Mariners, MLB Network, global broadcast. And we'll see who's pitching tomorrow. We're slated to have Bryce Miller versus Jose Quintana. 6-7 record, 3.95 ERA versus Bryce Miller, 8-7 record, 3.62 ERA. So a pretty even matchup, and 50-50 could go either way. Hopefully we can find a way to compete with the Mets tomorrow. All right, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for the support and sharing your new swag gift. I'm still waiting for my Randy Macho Man Savage Toy Biz 1999 vintage NWO Wolfpack figure with chair. You know, it made it out of Canada, and it went to many locations in Canada, and it is in Detroit, I actually think right now. Let's see where it's located. But it started off, where did it start off? Started off in Winnipeg, Manitoba, then it went to Toronto, went to some customs, Mississauga, Ontario, and then made its way to Chicago. And then it's trying to make it my way to Oregon. But I can't wait till I get a new Macho Man. Oh, yeah. And I think I might start collecting that set. I mean, I already have, 4 or 5. I might as well. It's like probably one of the best wrestling figure sets from back in that era, WCW Toy Biz, 1999, when wrestling was at its peak with the NWO and the Monday Night Wars going against DX and Vince on WWF. Yeah, that's crazy. For me, I'm getting it, I think, shipped just normal through the postal service. So I imagine it's going to take about 2 weeks for me to get my figure. But as long as it doesn't get lost, that's the main thing. But even if it does, I mean, it's only $15. I mean, that's as much as the figure is. The chair is worth $10. Got that for free. Shipping free. So you can't beat that. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Tigers. Runner at first, 1 out, 2-0 count to Haniger. Haniger, dribbler up the middle, double play. And that's just our luck. Tough. Haniger hitting into a double play. Damn it, Hanny. End of the 7th, 3-1 Detroit. Tigers are going down to the Giants, and then you're going to play us again. Is it in Seattle or is it in Detroit? Obviously, I have a calendar here on one of my apps, but I didn't really look ahead. I know they flashed it on the screen, but see who's up next here for the Detroit Tigers. If we don't get anything here in the 8th inning, it might end up being a 3-1 final. I mean, unless the Tigers go off, and then maybe they end up getting a couple more runs. Really depends on who's pitching for us, and that'll dictate what the score is. All right, next up for the Tigers, DHing for Detroit, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, Wencel Perez, who had a homer against Kirby yesterday. Batting second, 0 for 3 with a K, second baseman, one of the rookies of the month that was showcased, Colt Keith. I like him as well. See if he goes 1 for 4 today. And batting third would be Matt Vierling, but they took him out, and they're going to put in Gio Urshela. We'll see if Gio can bring some magic for the Tigers. Golly, we're not ready to see that. I'm ready to see him as a fan, but it's like you end up going against him, it's an instant loss. 90% of the time, unless you get incredibly lucky. Now, in the games, and I know that Cat King, MSU, and a few of the others in the room that are Tiger fans, like Kevin and Brandy as well. Now, what are I don't know if you remember off the top of your head, but out of Scoo's losses, he only has like 4 or 5 the whole season, right? How many runs were scored to beat Scoo in those 4 or 5 losses? Do you guys remember? Was it like big, like someone ended up having to get like 7 runs to beat you? Or did you guys have any close games and Scoo ended up losing like 2-1 or 3-2? It kind of makes me feel that, not a lot of people are roughing him up, but I'm kind of curious, like, in his 4 or 5 losses, what were the scores in those games when he lost? Obviously, the hitters did not come to play to help him out, and he still might have had a good game, even though, they might have lost. And then maybe 1 or 2 of those starts, maybe he got roughed up. But you got to think, out of the 4 losses, you would have think that he wouldn't have played bad in all 4. Maybe didn't get run support in 2 of them, and maybe played like shit in 2 of them. But he's not going to play like shit in 4 of them. All 4, highly unlikely for the best pitcher in baseball. Yeah, I mean, it could happen, but, No, that's what I was going to say. I would say he probably still ended up getting like 7 Ks, in most of those losses, I would assume. He's too talented. It's like for him, he has the potential to get, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Ks. But even a, 6 or 7 K game, is good for most people. But for him, that's like average. He's a stud. So Keith popped up. Should be out number 2 here to Alraz Arena. 2 away. There goes Perez. There goes Keith. And next up, Gio Urshela for Matt Vierling. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. All right, we're 4 more likes away from 40. Only 4. And it looks like we got about 14 people that haven't smashed the like button just yet. We only need 3 more out of the 14 to do it, and we'll hit 40. So do your boy a solid. We're in the top of the 8th. 3-1 Tigers. 2 outs, 1-1 count to Gio Urshela. 243 average, 4 homers, and 36 ribbies for Gio in limited play. Big swing and a miss, down to 1 knee for Urshela, behind in the count. 1-2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we still got Garcia out there. Now we got a mound visit for Jimmy Garcia. Big swing and a miss, got him. All right, here we go. We need the bats to come alive here. And, I'm not really sure how it will go. It kind of feels like we might be able to get one more, but I don't know if we can get two more, And again, this is Major League Baseball, and that's kind of sad to say, but it kind of feels like the vibe, the Tigers are going to sweep. But I still think we can get one or two more runs. It just depends if we can get two this inning, and then we'll have a chance, or if we only get one, that might be it. Because if we only get one or none, the score might just end up being a 3-1 final or a 3-2 final. We have to really push hard here to have a good inning. Because a lot of times if we don't get enough in this eighth, they've given up in the ninth. I mean, they won't say they gave up, but it's like you can kind of tell with the body language. They're ready for dinner. They're ready to kind of get the shit wrapped up. We got the Mets tomorrow, and it hasn't been a very good hitting game here for the Mariners. We have 2 hits. So what are the chances of us getting 2 or 3 hits this inning or in the ninth? Not likely. So just got to be real and genuine and honest about it, but you never know. At some point, something good's got to happen for Seattle, you would think. We're at home, we're not on the road. It's not like Screwball's pitching today. But again, that's the woes that we have as the Seattle Mariners. Sometimes we can't hit. Other times we're great. But again, we are the number 1 strikeout team in baseball. It's gotten significantly better with the addition of Randy, Victor, and JT. But obviously in the last couple games, those guys have been pretty non-existent. And it looks like we might have thrown in the towel. Leading off for the Mariners, Mitch Garver, and he can't hit at all. So that tells me that they've already given up on this game and the game is over. Congratulations, Detroit. Now, could Mitch Garver end up hitting a home run, and being a hero like he was in April when we were down 1-0? Polo got a single, and then he ended up having a walk-off. But he hasn't really done that many things since this picture was taken. Absolutely. We appreciate you too as well. MSU has been a fan of the channel and been here for a while, but for some of the other Tiger fans that are new to the channel, great to have you. And again, this is what baseball streams should be like, where you can end up having a Tiger stream and a Mariner stream, and it's right down the middle. You're getting good plays. You're not getting biased takes or shit talking the other team or the other manager or the other fan base that's in the room. And look at that. Wow. Mitch Garver. I mean, the guy was getting death threats, not only verbally, but on social media for being the worst player on the Mariners. And I guess, you know what? Enough is enough. Mitch Garver ends up pulling that baseball for a single. Nice job, Garv. I totally thought that he would strike out, pop up or ground out. And, I guess, I get every blind squirrel gets a nut once in a while, and I'll take that. Mitch Garver. There we go. And they got Leo Rivas pinch running for him, which is a good decision by Scott Service as well. Even though he got caught, trying to steal a bag, I believe, the last time that he had an opportunity. But let's see if Leo can run the bags appropriately here. And don't get too cute out there trying to steal second and get thrown out. You got to do it in a timely manner. Demo. Grounder right up the middle. Fuck. Double play. Jesus Christ. Double play by fucking Demo. And then the whole Mitch Garver hit for nothing. Terrible. I feel good for Mitch. At least he won't get booed. He got the cheers. But then, when shit is, not going well and the other team is playing better, the game is over. 3-1 final Tigers. We're down to our last guy here. Next up, Victor Robles, unless we can get a miracle here with Robles, Rayleigh, and Rosarina. Congratulations, Detroit. Not officially over, but we're hanging by a thread now. Like, we literally need Victor to go yard here or get a base hit. But, we still got one more inning after this. But, again, most of the time when the Mariners play like this and they don't get anything in the eighth, they don't get anything in the ninth. And there it is. End of the 8th inning, 3-1 Detroit. Now we just have to pray that you guys don't get any more, and then we can keep it 3-1, and then by a miracle, we can get 2 in the 9th, which is probably going to be like a 1% chance of happening, and we'll see where it goes. But realistically, this game will probably be a 3-1 final. So, and then the brooms will come out for Cat King, and he'll be in his house dancing like Harry Potter with the broom as he sweeps the Mariners into the dustpan. And that's all right. Same thing with MSU Detroit fan. They got all the brooms. But, we didn't deserve to win. We didn't play well. I think the pitching wasn't, great, but it wasn't horrible. Bullpen was bad in game number 2 and Scooball. But again, games 1 and 3, big disappointment. This is not what I expected. I expected to lose the Scooball in game 2, but I did not expect to play this bad in game 1 and game 3. And that's the life of being a Mariner fan. It's not always going to be peaches and cream. Remember, our team didn't make the playoffs for 20 plus years. You got to be battle tested and be mentally tough to be a Mariner fan. Same thing with Tiger fans. They haven't really had a whole lot to cheer about in a number of years. It's been a while when you're a small market team in baseball. And that's why when you stick with a team and then they do something good, right, it makes you feel good. And for Tiger fans, sweeping the Mariners, this is a big deal, especially when they are going to play the Giants and they're going to be right back to playing the Mariners again, probably beating our ass again. So congratulations to you. I know it's not over yet, but you guys have definitely kicked some ass in this series. Hopefully we don't play like this against the Mets. Otherwise, we're going to be pulling our hair out. We're at 30, 70 to go. And we hit 40. There we go. We have, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to see if we can get 10 likes. We're at 40. We got 52 in the room and a few others. Let's see if we can get to 45 or 50 before the stream ends. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We have at least 12 that haven't done it yet. Let's go. And we're at 30 on the donos. 70 to go. We got Bryce Miller, Jose Quintana, Logan Gilbert, Sean Manea, and then Luis Castillo versus Luis Savarino. Are you talking about Scoo, MSU Detroit? I'm jealous, man. I would love to have the number 1 pitcher in baseball. I mean, the last time that we had someone like that was like Randy Johnson. As far as lefties are concerned, we've had, obviously, Felix Hernandez as our dominant righty. Besides the guys that we have now with Kirby and Gilbert and Wu and Luis Castillo and Bryce Miller. But if we're talking about like the top, like the best of the best, that was when we had Randy Johnson. And Scoo is like the modern day Randy, even though Randy is probably better, than Scoo. But if Scoo can keep playing like this for his career, we're going to see him hopefully in the Hall of Fame. That would be great. But at least for this year, after having a lot of the pub and being a phenom last year, he's lived up to the billing. And him, Chris Sale, and Paul Skeens are the 3 best pitchers in baseball today. So 2 balls and 2 strikes from JT Chargois from the Marlins, from the Mariners to the Marlins to the Mariners again. And Bly Madris in the box. But you can't expect to beat anybody with only getting a couple hits in a game. 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, that can help you win. You don't hit that number, the Mariners have a terrible record when we get 1 to 3 runs. We have like 4 wins and like 40 plus losses. And we're about to add another L, and hopefully, when JP and Julio come back, that'll give us the spark that we need to have that nice run at the end of the season. 3-2 pitch from JT Chargois from Madris. Got him. Questionable suspect call. Could have went 50-50 there. Just outside on the edge. Probably should have been called a ball, but we get the punch out, 1 away. Next up for the Tigers, left fielder Justin Henry Malloy. But I'll tell you what, any other Tiger fans, if you're watching any other Mariner content creator, it won't be like this, and again, a lot of, sports streamers are incredibly biased and have nothing positive to say for the other good players on the opposite side. So it's always refreshing to be able to get fans of other teams to come through, and this is how it should be, And again, we are the number 1 sport and wrestling channel in Oregon, and we're trying to grow and, get more fans, obviously, they're in the Washington area so that we can be one of the bigger channels in the Pacific Northwest and then the West Coast. But for all the newbies in here, I hope you guys are enjoying the call on the game here tonight. 0-2 pitch. Got him. There goes Malloy. The hair comes up. My favorite player on the Detroit Tigers, center fielder Parker Meadows. And he has single-handedly won all 3 games for the Detroit Tigers. Parker Meadows, 2 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a K. Obviously, Scooball did his thing, but Parker Meadows has played great in every single matchup. Yeah, we're very familiar with guys like Scoo, like Blake Snell, a lot of guys, Adley Rushman. We have a lot of talent that is from Oregon and Washington, whether it be from Portland or Seattle or somewhere in between. There's a lot of elite baseball players that most people don't know that came from middle school, high school, college, or have some kind of ties to Oregon and Washington. We develop really good athletes here in the Pacific Northwest. 1-1 count to Parker Meadows. Chases at a pitch low from Chagua. 1-2 count. Top of the 9th, 3-1 Tigers, 2 outs, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Parker Meadows. 5 multi-hit games in the last 6. He's been hot, hot, hot. 1-2 pitch. Pitches low and inside. Gets away from Cal Raleigh. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4 straight multi-hit games. And obviously that's a big part of beating the Mariners. And I don't like losing, but I do like noticing new talent. And Parker has been one of the maybe only 5 guys from the opposite team that has been able to break out against the Mariners this season. And I'm definitely going to keep my eye on him for the rest of his career. Little flip. Parker Meadows can't do anything here. And now we're at our last chance. We're 3 outs away from getting swept. Hopefully we can get 2 runs here to go extras. We got Rayleigh, Rosarina, and Cal Raleigh. So we actually have our best lineup available. So at least that's on the good side. I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything, but at least we have our best options up. Luke Rayleigh, he hit the home run. Randy Rosarina struggled lately, but maybe he can do some magic, right? So maybe Luke can get a single. Maybe Randy can get on, or maybe he strikes out or grounds out. And then maybe Cal Raleigh, after Luke or Randy gets on, hits a 2-run blast, and then we can end up having a 3-3 tie. Then we'll go to extras, and we're going to try to win 4-3 in 10 or 11. That's how it will go down. Luke gets a base hit, Randy strikes out or pops up or grounds out, Cal hits a 2-run blast. That's how we end up tying the game up if we were to do that. Now, will that happen? Probably not, but, a guy can always dream, right? Let's go, baby. Now I got to get the Mariner Moose out for good luck here. He doesn't let us down too often. We need some late inning heroics here, and we're a very good 7th, 8th, and 9th inning team, but do we have enough? And based on the batters that we have, I think the confidence will be higher than if it was like Polo, Haniger, Rojas, or Haniger, Rojas, Moore. If it was that, chalk it up for an L. But if we got our best 3 options up, that's going to give us a shot. It's not a good shot, but it's a small shot. But at least we have Rayleigh, Randy, and Cal up. And that's exactly who you would want up in this situation. So we'll see where it goes. Let's go, Mariners. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. Well, I think the consensus is Tiger fans are elated and ecstatic. They got their brooms in the hand already. Right now, as they're watching the game, they're brooming their house, right? Sweeping up the Mariners in the dustbin. But for Mariner fans, we're frustrated. That one fouled off. 0-2 count. But I'm not going to let it ruin my night, Yeah, I don't think you're going to win your $130, my guy. Little bunt. Fair. There we go. I told y'all, you got to talk it into existence. And there you go. Luke Raley. Maybe an unconventional weak-ass hit to third base right down the foul stripe and the line, but it bounces, and hits the third base bag. We'll take it. Next up, Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. And see if Randy can get a hit, but if he pops up or strikeouts or grounds out, so be it. Cal Raleigh with a homer, and we tie it up. The writing is on the wall. Let's go. My ESP, Sports Gods, are you listening? Let's see if the Sports Gods really love me. Because if the Cal Raleigh homer does happen, the Sports Gods are watching. But I don't know if it'll happen. But I would say the chances of the Mariners tying would be 5%, and the chances of the Mariners winning 1%. But you're saying that we have a chance. You know, you never know. Like Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying I have a chance. It might not be a good chance, but there's a chance. But if Randy gets on base, that'll definitely help our odds, you know, from getting it from 3-1 to 3-2. And obviously it'll give that momentum for the third batter in a row to do something, and then JT after him. So we're in a good position here. We'll see if Randy can step up. Been a little ice cold the last couple games, so it wouldn't shock me if he ends up getting out, but maybe a miracle can happen here. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, baby. All right, we're at 41. We need 4 more likes to get to 45, 9 more to get to 50. And we got almost 60 in the room, so we have plenty of people that haven't smashed it yet, at least 15 of y'all. So we need 8 more. We need half of the people that haven't done it to do it. And then we'll get to our final number, 50. We have 8 more likes to be able to get before the game ends. Hopefully we'll get there. We're at 42, 8 more to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. 3-1 Tigers on the brink of a sweep. And we're down to our last 3 outs. Luke Raley with a cheap single down third base. Now you bring in Will Vest. And let's see if Randy Arozarena can do some damage. Let's go, Randy. Even getting a walk or a hit by a pitch will be great in this situation, as long as Randy doesn't get hurt by the hit by pitch. 1-0 pitch. Arozarena, 2-0 count. I smell a walk. I smell it. Let's go. Work the count. And if this guy starts to lose his control, this could be the opportunity for the Mariners to get Uncle Mo and that momentum going. Let's go. 2-0 pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. 2-1 count. Because if we're not careful, the opposite is going to happen. But I'm not going to say it. We already know what that is. Bottom of the ninth, 3-1 Tigers. Runner at first, 2-1 count. Let's go, Randy. Pitch inside, 3-1 count. Let's go. We need a walk, baby. We'll take a walk. Come on, Randy. 3-1 count. Let's go. Bottom of the ninth, 3-1 Tigers. Runner at first, no outs. This is the best opportunity for the Mariners all night. 3-1 pitch. Fouls it off. Looks like the ump got hit there in the chest. Hopefully he's okay. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Randy. Bring that electricity, baby. Better late than never. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. 8 more likes to get to 50. 70 more to get to the dono goal. We're at 30. Let's go. Three-two pitch. Randy! Let's go! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about. Fuck yeah. Runners on the corners with no fucking outs, and sometimes you got to talk it into existence. Luke Ray with a little bloop single off the third base bag. We'll take it. Randy Arozarena has been struggling the last 3 games. Not right there. Nice base hit into right field. Runners on the corners with no outs. Next up, can we be a hero with a Cal Raleigh walk-off homer to win 4-3. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Let's go, Cal. Let's end this. And again, we'll take a single, a double, an RBI. You know, we'll take even a sacrifice to make it 3-2. But Cal is the guy that if we do get a home run in crazy fashion, it would definitely be Trident's up, big dumper. I mean, he should have had 2 homers last night. He had one from the right side, and his left one got robbed by Parker Meadows, which would have given us the 4-3 lead, I believe, in the 8th last night. Still maybe would have lost because our bullpen is shitty, but you know, you got to give Parker Meadows the credit, but Cal is our most clutch hitter in the 7th inning and beyond. Let's go. Bottom of the 9th, runners on the corners, 1-1 pitch. Pitch is low in the zone, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go. Let's go, baby. This is the most excitement we've had all game. Let's go, Cal. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, baby. Home run to win the game. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's go. We're at 44. 6 more likes to 50. Let's go, baby. There's 20 people that haven't smashed the like button. We need 6 of them to hit the goal. Smash that like button for your boy. Let's go, baby. Runners on the corners on 1st and 3rd. Bottom of the 9th. 3-1 Tigers. They're approaching the sweep on the Mariners. 2-2 pitch from Vest to big dumper. Come on, Cal. 2-2 pitch, crushed. Foul. Let's go. Bring that electricity, Cal. Come on, baby. 2-2 pitch, and got him. Wow, what a pitch by Vest. 1 away. And Cal can't be the hero tonight. Next up, 0 for 3 with a K, DHing for Seattle, Justin Turner. And we got you for this exact reason. When we need a big hit late in the game, can we count on Justin Turner to help us here? Let's go. Come on, JT. Let's go. First pitch is high and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Runners on the corners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out. We could still win 4-3 in extras. You know, it's possible, but we still need a couple more things to happen to get to that point. We still got to be able to get the guy home from 3rd to make it at least 3-2, unless he ends up hitting an unexpected home run right here and we win 4-3. Let's go. Let's go, JT. 2-0 pitch to Turner. Pitch on the corner for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Justin. Let's go, baby. 2-1 pitch from Vest to Turner. Chopper towards 3rd base. Foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, JT. Come on, Mariners. We only have, well, we got up to 5 hits, but we only had 2 for the longest time. 5 hits apiece, but we're down 3-1. Let's go, Justin. 2-2 pitch to Turner. Got him. What a nasty pitch by Vest. Wow. Making Cal look silly, making Turner look silly. All right, and now it comes down to the guy that got booed by the Mariner fan base for a month. A guy that we have a love-hate relationship with, Jorge Polanco. Can he be the guy to have the unexpected home run or RBI to tie the game up or to end up winning the game for the Mariners here tonight? Statistically speaking, chances are it's a no, right? But again, at this point, we probably have a 10% chance to tie, 5% chance to win, and a 90% chance to lose. So we'll see. Pitch is outside, 1-0 count to Jorge Polanco. Come on, Mariners. Don't leave them stranded. At least get 1 run in and get to 3-2. Can't have guys at 1st and 3rd with no outs and get fucking nothing. Come on. 1-0 pitch to Polo. Pitch is low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Maybe getting a bases loaded with Polo would be good. Don't swing unless it's there. Come on, Polo. Check swing. Jumps out of the catcher's mitt. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Polo's only 1 for 10. So he's batting like 100. So the chance of him hitting a home run or getting a hit or an RBI is not likely. Can he do it? Yeah. We've seen him do it before. But we have a better chance of probably dropping this game than him making a big play. But we still have to pray. Takes a strike looking. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tigers are 1 strike away from sweeping the Mariners. But again, the magic number was 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and getting 2 runs or 1 run will not cut it against any team, let alone Detroit. 2-2 pitch, and then he chopped that one foul barely. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Mariners. I've had enough heartbreak in the last 2 games as it is. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's get to 50 likes before the game ends, baby. We got 80 in the room. We need 6 more likes to get to 50. Smash the like button on your way out. 2-2 pitch from Vest to Polo. Check swing. Did he go? And it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Count is full. Let's see if Polo has the discipline not to swing, and maybe we can get a walk or a hit by a pitch. Let's go. Three-two pitch. Walked him, baby. All right, the game is still alive. Base is loaded. We like that. Next up, 0 for 3, right fielder, Mitch Haniger. And when we played the Phillies, we ended up winning with a walk-off walk, where we had bases loaded, and it ended up having a walk, and that ended up winning the game. I'm not sure if that's going to happen here, but that could definitely help us and get it to 3-2. And you never know what we might get out of Mitch Haniger here. Let's go, Hanny. Let's go. 7 career walk-offs with the Mariners, tied with most in team history with Presley. And we got Bliss running for Polanco on the bags, which I like. Good decision by Scott Service there. Come on, Mariners. First pitch is outside, 1-0 count, and Mitch will definitely take a walk. And then if that brings in a freebie, 3-2, then we might actually be able to win 4-3 this inning. But we have to make sure that happens. 1-0 pitch. Pitch is on the corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was a walk-off walk. 5 more likes to hit 50. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's what they call it, a walk-off walk, instead of a walk-off home run. 1-2 pitch from Vest to Haniger. Chops that one foul. Count remains 1-2. Bottom of the 9th, 3-1 Tigers. Bases loaded for the Mariners. 2 out with a 1-2 count from Vest to Haniger. And again, they are 1 strike away from sweeping the Mariners. Let's go, Hanning. Haniger! Let's go! Oh, he missed it! Go, 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 go! Yeah! And we won, baby! That's how you do it! Mitch Haniger doubled the right. Bliss scored. Railing scored. Arozarena scored. Yeah! Woo! Yes! Let's go! Mitch Haniger, the hero, again. Final score, Mariners 4, Tigers 3. Let's go! Fuck yeah! Woo! Yes! Let's go! Yeah, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Bang! That's how we do it. We don't get swept. No Harry Potter brooms for MSU and the Tiger fans. I'm sorry, Cat King, but not today. Let's go, Mariners! And that doesn't happen that often, right? Where we end up coming up in the clutch late in the game like that. You know, it very well could have been just game over, but the Mariners not giving up and being obviously down 3-1 and getting 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah. And that's what happens when you go for a diving catch to end the game and you miss it. And GG to all the Tiger fans, but you don't get the sweep. You don't get to run around like Harry Potter in your house. And if we're being honest, we needed this more than you. You guys already won the first 2 games, and you were playing with house money. We got the Mets coming up tomorrow. We haven't played well, and thank God, Mitch Haniger in the bottom of the ninth came up huge. Hell yeah. Let's go. Hell yeah. I got to listen to the Haniger interview. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Final score, Seattle Mariners 4, Detroit Tigers 3. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Fuck yeah. What a big win. That's one of the biggest wins of the year. Like, period. Like, based off the situation and how we played in this series, and to be able to come back like that with 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth, like, that doesn't happen, not only to the Mariners, but just to anybody. That was huge, and hopefully that will be the game that springboards us moving forward for the rest of the season. That was a huge, huge win. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go. Captain with a 3-er. Hell yeah, baby. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And we might have only had a 1% chance to come back there late, 1 or 2%, but we did it. And again, everything happened. And like I told you, that lineup was the best lineup that we had a chance to get it done. You had Luke, right? You had Randy. Luke homered earlier in the game. Randy came up big. Cal couldn't do anything, but that's okay. Then you had Justin Turner, couldn't do anything. Then it went to Polo, and then Haniger ended up being the hero. Let's go. This would have been an amazing game to be at in person. That's what my buddies were saying too. I agree. Nice job, Hanny. Let's go. $3 holla and a boom. Let's freaking dance. $100 dono. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah. So you won $80, so I'm going to get half of that, right? Thanks, Terry. Appreciate you. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. Let's go. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos. But that was the biggest win of the year for us. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, Cactus Jack, $100 dono to get our number up in the stream. Let's go. I'll remember this game for, a long, long, long time. Let's go. Hell yeah. Mariners. Let me know what you want to do for photos, Captain Oreo, as well as Megan. Let's go. Hell yeah. Appreciate you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And you know what makes it really cool? When it ends up being a player that hasn't really played that well for us this year. And again, we had a choice between him and Ty France to deactivate. And a lot of people thought that maybe Haniger should have got deactivated before Ty France. But we had more first base players than outfielders. And obviously with Julio being injured, we decided to keep Haniger on the team. And I'm really happy that we did, because if we would have let him go or traded him off, then this wouldn't have happened tonight. Nice job, Mitchie. Fuck yeah. Nice job. Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you so much, Captain Oreo. Let me know what you two want for photos, and I got you. Yes, I will. I got you. And we got the 50 likes. Hell yeah. And hopefully, we could have gotten more from those looky-loos, either hoping that, the Mariners lose or the Mariners win, or they don't give a shit about the Mariners or the Tigers. They just want their parlay to hit, which is pretty common, in sports when we're going to see them in streams. So, Captain Oreo, you got anyone that you want to be able to see? Okay, I got you. Nuke Rayleigh, I got you. And obviously, we'll throw up some Hanigers just based on what he did. So, let's get some Hannies up here. And then we got some Luke Rayleighs up here for Captain Oreo. Obviously being a nice hero, hitting home runs for us in 2 out of the last 3 games. Luke Rayleigh doing big things. Nice job, Luke. And then we'll go through Anson photos for Megan. Let's go. Mariners win, baby. Tiger fans can't believe it. But again, to win 3 games in a row or 4 is not easy. But, if there was a time and a place where it looked like that sweep was going to happen, it was today. And I'm just really thankful that we did that. And that might be the saving grace for the Mariners. Because imagine getting swept and having to play the Mets. What happens if the same thing happens? We could go into a big, deep dive of a bad losing streak. But instead, we have an emotional win in the bottom of the 9th. And that'll carry over to tomorrow when we play the Mets. Hell yeah! Maurice is happy. Let's go. Good shit. Best win of the year, right there. What a game. Unbelievable. 8th career walk-off. Number 1 in Mariner history. Nice job, Mitch. I'm really glad that you're still on the team. You still haven't, played to what your contract is, and you've been struggling, but as of late, he's been getting better. He's not as bad as he was in April and May, and in June, July, and August, he's starting to pick it up. So, thank God. And to have a hit big enough to get everyone to score to win the game. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Best win of the year for the Seattle Mariners. Great game, man. Great game. And I know a lot of the Tiger fans are still in disbelief. But again, sometimes, when you have that 1% chance, that's just enough as you need. As long as you still believe that you can win. And obviously they were still engaged there in the bottom of the 9th. And luckily Haniger came up huge to be the hero again. Yeah, we got robbed with that two-run blast by Cal yesterday. It was a great defense by Parker Meadows, but also too they had Valade, who normally doesn't play, and he was the one that made that error or that diving attempt. So if you had like Veerling out there in right field, that probably would have been caught. And that's just me being honest and real. So, but sometimes it's good to be lucky rather than to be good. Appreciate you. Unbelievable game. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Mitch Haniger, the hero, baby. Yeah, and we'll get more of that, throughout the season. The better the Mariners do, the more people we're going to get, not just in close games. But if the Mariners end up winning the World Series or like the Ducks win the Natty, those are the two teams that I do the most of as far as, every game. Big things are going to happen to this channel. So, and I would assume the Mariners are going to have a very good chance in the next 15 years to win a World Series. And I think as long as Dan Lanning stays on the Ducks, we're going to have a very good chance in the next 5 to 10 years to win the Natty. And hell, it might even happen this year. You never know. Judah in the building. Thank you for getting us to 50. Appreciate you. DX for the fiver. Yeah, you have the good ESP tonight. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang bang. But to get a double and to bring in 3, that's really tough. And at the end of the game, it's one thing to get 1 or to get 2, but to get all guys to score when it's bases loaded and it's not like a grand slam, that takes a solid, base hit or an error or a mistake on the Tigers, and that's what we got. So, Elliot in the building, what's good, baby? Big win for us. Yeah. Let's go, baby. Go Mariners. We needed that. But again, I watched every game from beginning to end. That was the best game of the year. Based on getting our ass kicked by Scooball, getting our ass kicked in game number 1, and literally having to, dig out at the very, very end, 3, when you had a hard time even getting to a hit in the game, let alone a run, and then to be able to manufacture that bottom of the 9th was fucking beautiful. But it all started having the good order. Luke, Randy, and Cal to start off the inning, because if we would have started off the inning like here, Mitch, Josh, Dylan, it would have been over. So that was a little bit of luck that we ended up having the best guys available to start the rally in the 9th. It just so happened it fell to us, in that particular lineup. So awesome, man. Scoob is a starting pitcher, so he can only pitch 1 game. And then once he pitches, then he's done. He's the best pitcher in baseball. But they're not going to have a starting pitcher pitch yesterday and then pitch today. They have to rest their arms like a week, and then Scoob will be back, pitching, next week. So that's how it typically goes for baseball. Let's go. What else do you want to do for photos, Megan, before I go? I'll probably stay on here for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then I got to eat dinner, take Paisley on a long walk. So anything else that you want to be able to see photo-wise before we end up ending the stream? I'll stay on for another 14 minutes if I need to. We're at 2 hours and 46 minutes, so we got 14 minutes to go, and I'll end the stream at the 3-hour mark. And then I got to go eat dinner and take Paisley for a long walk. Nice, man. You're definitely going to be very deadly in the playoffs. You might be like the Mariners, where no one really thinks the Mariners or Padres are going to do anything. And then those are the teams that might actually overachieve and beat the Guardians or the Orioles or the Yankees or the Royals or the Twins. And in your case, the Braves or the Brewers or possibly the Phillies or Dodgers. I know they don't want to see you. Nice job. Only 2 back. Nice. Megan, let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. And I'll throw a couple up here for DX while we wait for what you want to do. I'm gonna delete some of these other Anson photos to make more room. Give me a sec. That Luke Rayleigh hit was still Mariners. You know, he just barely blooped it, and it went down the third base line and hit the third base bag. Like, the craziest, like, you know, type of hit that you could get to start a rally to go, besides a bunt, which it almost was. Definitely luck involved. Definitely needed it. Here's my boy, Napa Know-How, doing the Coca-Cola card this weekend with your boy, Eric Jones. Who? Eric Jones. Oh, nice. He didn't end up getting injured pro far. Nice. Yeah, they're hating on him. They're hating on his greatness. Great choice. Let's do that. Yeah, I've been a fan since 85, Joe. So, again, it's been a while since we've been this good. You know, 95, 97, 2001, 2022, and now this team. What a win, man. That's going to be hard for me to sleep tonight after that one. But GG to all the Tiger fans, that came through. I know that's disappointing, and some of those brooms probably broke in their hands as they tried to Harry Potter across their kitchen floor. But it's not over until it's over. A lot of times, I can kind of tell when it's going to be over just based off body language, but they didn't give up. We got extremely lucky, and we ended up preventing the sweep, and that's what we do. Nice job, Mariners. As we got a legend here on screen, Pete Carroll. Chaotic baseball. That's what the Mariners do. It's never easy for us. It's always a fucking grind. But again, when it ends up being a grind, sometimes we can end up celebrating at the end and an emotional win. And again, they won the first two games. They didn't need to win today. Today was just icing on the cake. They were playing with house money at the casino, but we fucking needed this win bad. Like really bad. And thank God that we got it. And this picture with Pete Carroll, this is all of the Mariner fans right now doing that. I'll tell you what. Let them know, Pete. That's our celebration right there. Hell yeah, man. Brennan with the Huskies, yeah. Should we just do Steve and Jim? Should we just keep going down the Seahawk line? Let me know what else you want to see here for these last 8 minutes. These are for you. And I appreciate the huge celebratory dono to get us over the hump. And not only did we get the 50 likes, that we ended up hitting goal, which I didn't think what we would, unless we did get someone to go above and beyond like Megan did. And then Oreo came in as well to help us out, but I appreciate it very, very much. Where else do you want to go here for the last 8 minutes, Megan? Stefan, Jim Zorn, Steve Largent. Good night, man. Sleep easy tonight. Okay, let's do that. Let's go Jim Zorn next. You got to go with your favorites, and I'll throw in a little Stefan in there at the very end. What a win. Thank you so much for your guys' generosity. Obviously, Captain Oreo, Megan, DX, and a few of the others that participated today with the dono train. And, man, emotional wins, man. That was very similar to like the Blue Jays game in the playoffs a couple years ago in 2022 when you had the two players collide, and then we ended up making that huge comeback and winning. And anytime you end up diving for a ball to win the game and you miss it, you know, that ends up being a critical mistake, which it was. But I'm so happy that happened. I mean, Mariner fans have already been depressed as it is, so especially the last few games. So. Matt, anything that you want to see before the stream ends? You want any Bo Nix or Troy Franklin or anything like that? Let's go through these one more time here for Megan. And then I can scoop up and get something for Matt. A couple photos there. And these throwbacks are so nice. I hope one day you can find this jersey. You got to think there's someone out there that might have one. Very rare though, especially if you find an original one, not like a Mitchell and Ness type of one like your Steve Largent. So. I appreciate it. I know that you have certain things that you need to take care of, and that's why you're a GOAT, and I can't do this channel without you, and your support is unmatched. I really do appreciate you. Mitch definitely proved it. Both Mitches. Even Garver got a hit. I mean, it didn't end up leading to anything, but at least Garv didn't get booed, and then Haniger proved his worth. So. Let's throw up a couple Bo Nix here for Matt. And we're going to end the stream here in just a couple minutes. I got to go take Paisley Pup for a long walk and eat dinner and reflect on this amazing win here that the Seattle Mariners were able to get here tonight. Never give up. Mitch Trubisky, Elliot's favorite. Can't wait for football season, baby. And with Alabama and Michigan taking a step back, that leaves room for Texas and Oregon to join Georgia and Ohio State. And we have the quarterback that is most likely to win the Heisman in Dylan Gabriel. So last time that we had a favored Heisman winner, we ended up going to the Natty and Mariota won the Heisman. So we didn't win, but we'll see what happens this year. And hopefully Bo will play good for the Denver Broncos and Matt Payton. Let's go. Anything else you want to be able to see, Megan, before we go? You guys might get third place this year. It might be Bucks, Falcons, Saints. I mean, I hope not for you guys, but that has to be a reality. There'll be a 3-team race for sure, but you never know how it might go, you know. If the Saints, Bucks, or Falcons get injuries, it's very easy to see that, you know, one of those teams could go 8-9 or 9-8. So, he said we're cooked. Shit. Okay. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Big, big win. And again, final score for the Mariners. Seattle 4, Detroit 3. And when the Mariners win, what do? We dance, baby. The Mariner Moose comes out, and I fucking love it. Let's go. And again, I'll be live tomorrow. Let me take a look at the time slot. I think it's at 7 o'clock. And we're going to be live tomorrow, Friday night. It's going to be MLB Network, 7 o'clock. I'll start. It'll be a 7:10 first pitch. Mets and Mariners in Seattle. So hopefully you guys will be able to come through and show some love. Shout out to Captain Oreo, DX, Matt, Elliot, and especially Megan for coming through with a big, generous dono at the very end to be able to cap off our 50-plus likes and getting over on 100 on the donos. I love you guys, and I appreciate you very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us, the Northwest Sports Fanatics, gang, gang, and I'll be back tomorrow. Let's get it. Go Mariners. Gang. He said stinky Dennis Allen. He's stinky. Well, hopefully we don't have to worry about Dennis Allen. Let's go. Mitch Haniger, you're the man. And at the end of the stream, you're going to get the photo that we all deserve. Nice job, Mitch. Let's go, Mariners. Final score, Mariners 4, Tigers 3. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.